Yeah.
What's up, Jason?
Say it with your chest.
And I'm gonna turn on my Kumu right now. Make sure y'all share.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yep. All right.
All right, why don't you intro the show, Waldo? while I share this, go ahead.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? To another episode of Hub 408. I'm Ninja Iceberg. Ron Sara over here is sharing our links. Jay is over here trying to say things with his chest. I guess what he's trying to say with his chest is San Francisco 49ers. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. All right. Here's what I'm trying to say with my chest. Oh, hold on.
Lazy. I'm lazy.
Lazy. I'm lazy. I am lazy. That's what I'm trying to say with my chest.
Does that say motivation is half the battle?
Yes.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah. Motivation is half the battle. That is what my shirt says.
Here's a quick question. How come they can't get G.I. Joe right? They have as many characters as the Marvel Universe. They've gave us hella shitty Transformer movies, like 7 or 8 of them. Some halfway good, some decent, whatever, yada yada. But yeah. I'm just saying, you can't give us a good G.I. Joe movie.
I haven't even seen the new Snake Eyes yet. I hear it's fun.
Yeah, that's
like the reviews are the reviews are terrible for it, right? But I hear it's a pretty fun movie. So I have not watched it yet. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Have you seen that, Jason?
I think with the G.I. Joe movies, trying to link big names to it kind of ruins. Like look at the first two. There was just way too many
big names.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's really a problem. Like again, Marvel can do that.
Yeah, like I'm saying, because they actually, they worked it out. They did the research. They planned it out.
I think that's really the key is to actually like figure that stuff out.
They gave us 3 Expendable movies.
Oh. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3.
Any one of those could have been a G.I. Joe movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Expendables? Yeah.
Like how come we can't get something like that right?
Right. And I think that is the issue, really. It's not the big name actors or anything like that. I think it's just the people who are making these movies, writing the movies, generally kind of feel like it's just all action when it's like, okay, here's the thing. G.I. Joe, the cartoon, is kind of whatever. It's a kid's cartoon. There's not a whole lot of background to it, right?
Yeah.
But if you have read some of the Marvel stuff, the Larry Hama early Marvel stuff, a lot of that stuff is really like, it's very everyone has like a backstory. Everyone's got like a purpose. Everyone's got their own motivation. Like each character has is an actual character, right? And I think some people just think G.I. Joe, paramilitary force, they're just going to kick ass against this terrorist organization. But it's like, well, if that's all it is, you have to deliver on certain things, right? Like if all it is just good guys versus bad guys, the action needs to be amazing. And the action is not like over the top amazing, right? And if you don't want to do that, if you want to give everyone a good like arc, you have to write a good arc.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, The Rock couldn't even save that franchise. They brought The Rock in, and he couldn't.
Yeah,
and Bruce Willis.
Right.
And Bruce Willis.
And Adrian Palicki or Padalecki or whatever. which is fine. I mean, I don't really care. But honestly, what was the best thing about the second movie with The Rock? You know, it was him and fucking Channing Tatum.
It was the RZA. I
the
like the
first the
RZA.
first
Remember the RZA? He
like the
was his
first yeah,
teacher.
yeah. But like
I liked
the
it.
first 10 minutes of The Rock and Channing Tatum like bantering with each other was like my favorite part in the entire movie. Like if they had like 90 minutes of that, of them just fucking talking with each other and talking shit while blowing stuff up, that would have been a badass movie.
And
It
I
would have
wonder why
showed
they
them
didn't.
to be. It would have been interesting, but they killed Duke off super early. You know, with like a bombing or something like that, like a
Hmm.
drone strike or some shit. I don't even
Hmm.
remember what blew him up, but something blew him up, and then it was just Roadblock doing things with Bruce Willis and Lady J for
I'm
for
just
the
saying they
next
couldn't
like
even
two
save that
hours.
franchise. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy to
well, it's
think
because
about
it's
that.
not. Yeah, because
All
it's
those
not
cool
interesting and
characters.
fun. Yeah,
And Roadblock wasn't even rhyming. That was the worst part.
Yeah, the cooking was
because
there,
you
right?
can right. So yeah, you can bring The Rock in, but he can only do so much. Like you bring him into the Fast and Furious franchise, and it's like, oh my god, the Fast Five and Six were really really fun, awesome movies. Are they dumb? Sure, but they're fun, dumb movies. Turn your brain off and enjoy the spectacle. What did GI Joe offer in term the movies offer? There's no real spectacle, and there's no real character arc for any of these people.
Mm-mm.
Like you don't really care about the bad guys. It's just they're mooks to be blown up. And if they're
Yeah,
mooks
they
to be
wasted
blown up, then
Firefly, who couldn't be saved by, and the guy that played Firefly was awesome too. He's the Punisher, basically. What's his name? Bray Stevenson or something like that. I forget his
Yeah.
name.
yeah, 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 hmm
Sucks,
yeah.
man.
So
They
you
just
have
they couldn't get it right.
yeah. So and I think that's kind of the issue with a lot of these IPs is that especially with like action IPs, they think that the action and the name itself will just sell itself, and for the most part, it will, right? Like I'm pretty sure the first GI Joe movie made a good amount of money. The first Transformers movie made a huge amount of money, right? But then each subsequent one, I think they kind of just forgot what it was about, and you know the cartoons, especially the animated cartoons, always had a lot of like emotional like beats to it. The GI Joe movie had like Duke possibly dying, the new recruits, trying to help out the GI Joe
One
team,
one
and trying to,
one being his half
you know,
brother too.
yeah,
So there was
yeah, exactly. Hmm
they had
There's
themes.
motivation. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. There's purpose and motivation for a lot of these guys to come in and fill in, the as the next generation of GI Joes, and there's actually things going on in like the movie with the Transformers movie, like the original animated movie. I mean, you had Optimus Prime going down. You had Hot Rod, trying to fill his shoes, or Ultra Magnus trying to fill his shoes. You had these people trying to fill his shoes, trying to make things happen, and there's actually an emotional component to it. There's an arc to it. There's motivations. These people are trying to you know like salvage themselves and survive against a superior force. There's just interesting things going on. The live action stuff is just spectacle for spectacle's sake, and after a while, it's just kind of boring.
I was just thinking in my head right now. And if I were to put the GI Joe cartoon along with the Transformers cartoon that we grew up with side by side, I know more GI Joe moments than I know Transformers moments. Like
Mm,
I know
okay.
like in Transformers, what's his name getting killed,
Mm,
them trying to in a way have him back. That was just a theme going on and story just going on. I don't really remember too many things. Not like GI Joe, I'll remember certain moments, and they're just scattered across, just so many episodes. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
um, it just sucks how we can't have certain things they'll give us. I like how they're trying to make Snake Eyes like their Wolverine. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
Let's give him a movie. Even
Hmm.
though he's been prominently, his story is prominently a running thing in most of the movies. You know what I mean, or
Yeah.
alludes to it. You know what I mean? So it's like, why can't they get this property right? Because we would want. I'd want to see it. I mean, it's already wacky, right? The premise of
Hmm.
this elite group of soldiers that somehow fuck shit up publicly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
I, I
the
mean, it's
cartoon is
basically
funny.
Avengers. It's
Yeah,
basically Avengers, right? Like, if they were able to, if you're able to make a movie like the Avengers work, there's no reason why you can't make, you know, uh, a GI Joe movie work. Maybe part of it is that they need to have individual stories, for some of the main characters,
here,
kind of like
here's
Marvel
here's a
MCU
game.
did.
Here's a game for you guys, real quick. If you were to pick 4 or 5 guys that would make your GI Joe movie, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like who would it be? What? The team. Who? You know, think in your head.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Jason, I'm gonna start with you. Who would you have in your GI Joe team?
It's just five, right?
Could be five, like a starting five or whatever. However many, if you want to do Wu Tang, where there's like
Okay,
fucking 9 members,
so
and then that's cool.
I mean,
I don't mind.
the way I do
More
it
GI Joe is
is
fun for me.
I do Duke, Flint, Scarlet, Snake Eyes, Lady J, and Roadblock. That's it,
The
and then just
original.
yeah, just build off of that.
There you go.
I
Ninja
mean,
would have.
yeah, that's pretty much my lineup as well. I'd probably throw in like a quick kick or
Yeah,
and a gung ho, just because I've always liked those characters.
Well, I was.
Obviously, you're probably gonna have like Beachhead as their drill instructor guy. You could have something along those lines. Um, but yeah, like those guys are perfectly fine to throw into like a starting GI Joe movie. Um, I can't really for I mean. Yeah, those are really the ones that those are really the only ones that I can really want to watch in terms of live
oh
action.
yeah, and it's like the easiest way to connect all of them would be like
What's up, John?
how how they had Shield recruiting the Avengers almost at the end of each movie, right? So I would just have
Mhm.
like General Hawk doing all the recruiting for each
Yeah,
person at the end of the movie. So I mean, that would be the connect.
and just have like kind of a yeah, just starting off
Yeah,
the MCU kind of thing where they each have like their own individual storylines. I mean, they already kind of did that with
Talk about GI Joe real quick, Joff.
they kind of did that with Snake Eyes, right? Like
yeah,
Snake Eyes has his own origin story, so we can do that with all the other ones. Give them actual like backgrounds and flesh them out as a character, and then bring them together as a GI Joe team. You can have like you can actually copy it exactly. Is have like maybe 3 origin movies, and then throughout those movies you sprinkle like a terrorist cell doing certain things. They
yeah,
seem to be totally random and totally disconnected, but they're all cells of Cobra, right? Like you can definitely do something like that. That is totally doable. One group, blows, does shit in like one country. The next movie, another group does random stuff in this other country. None of what they're doing seems connected, but then you find out later on that they're all connected to Cobra. So I mean that would be really cool. Like at the end of all that, like you don't introduce Cobra like off the bat. You introduce them later on as a big bad of some type.
yeah.
I
That'd be
wouldn't
kind
even
of cool.
introduce. I wouldn't even give some of these characters' origin stories already. I'll just give it to the people like, hey, this is what it is. They're a super team of
Yeah.
fighters. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Trying to save the day and stuff. But I don't know. I think I might be in the minority on this. I would want them to maybe recreate even the movie. You know what I mean? Where it does have that weird setting of Cobra Commander turning into a snake.
Where they go to Cobra Law right off the
Yeah, where
bat.
they go to Cobra
I think
Law. Like,
It's
I mean,
possible.
I might be in the minority for that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I thought that was weird that they had something that was already weird, GI Joe versus Cobra,
yeah.
where they bring that aspect into it. And it's the '80s, so maybe it was influenced by
Mhm.
horror horror films or whatever it is. So, Joff,
Yeah.
just real quick, what's up, dude? We're just talking about how come they can't get this franchise right with so many cool characters. I asked these guys just a couple of minutes ago who their starting five would be when it comes to making a GI Joe movie. Um, I did like everyone's starting five. I think Jason said it was Duke, Flint, Lady J, Scarlet, Roadblock. Was that your
Snake
five?
Eyes and Roadblock.
Snake Eyes.
Yeah, Snake Eyes and
There you go.
Roblox. Yeah.
I would probably switch it up though. I'd probably put Alpine and Bazooka
Yeah.
somewhere in
Mhm.
there for the funny aspect. I'll probably also put Quick Kick in there. Make it a little diverse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm always gonna have Quick Kick at on in there, always. Like
And I
I'll
like how you
always
did
throw
say
in Quick Kick.
Beachhead. I liked how you said Beachhead too. I
Yeah.
think he could be a
It's
really
kind of
fun
like
funny
a
character. Or I might have Chuckles. I've always liked the guy in the
mhm.
Hawaiian shirt. Just not really
Yeah.
saying anything. Joff, what about you? Off the top of your head, what would you have a starting five, or maybe
Sergeant
Rock and
Slaughter.
Roll, or Sergeant Slaughter? Yeah, what
A new Sergeant
barbecue?
Slaughter. Whoa.
Uh,
What would you do? Oh, who would you pick for that? A new Sergeant
I'll
Slaughter.
go the opposite. I'll go Major Blood, Tomax, and Samont,
Okay.
and two
Okay.
bats.
Oh,
That's
I'd
it.
actually watch that because it's the twins running shit, right? The twins are running shit.
Major
Oh,
Blood and
with Major
two
Blood
fucking
running it.
battle android, fucking
Yeah.
bats. That's
Bats
it.
are the
Mhm.
biggest thing too. They're always so awesome. That was probably my first troop builder to get a bat GI Joe figure back in the day was just cool. Well, I like that how you went the villainous route because I think there should be a more you know villainous approach to
Yeah,
or
because they can't
the
get the
movies.
heroes right. You see if they could get the villains right, so make it more compelling, I guess.
Like I've always liked the Destro character just because it's something that's been passed on. The mask is passed on from generation to generation until it gets to him. I remember there, dude. I don't know if you guys remember this one episode, but like, I believe him and Lady J were somehow related. Like they were distant relatives or distant something. I don't know. They were like connected somehow, but it was Lady J pretty much the entire episode, like running around in like a pink nightie. You know what I'm saying? Like while battling in Castle Destro, it was like pretty awesome. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
remember that.
I remember something along those lines in the castle. I don't remember exactly what the story was. I do remember the moment. I don't remember the story though. Hmm.
I've always liked those characters, even Cobra Commander, like in the comic books, in the Marvel books, the old ones that Waldo had brought up earlier. They talked about how he was just kind of like a talker, somebody that
Hmm.
almost like a politician. I think he started off as a car salesman, but like he was just a regular guy that somehow through his speaking ability was able to get people to sign up for a terrorist cell on
Terrorist
domestic
organization. Yeah.
yeah on domestic land. It's kind of he's probably one of and I don't know. I've always liked that design. Even as a kid, I just loved the hood. It was just a hooded figure. Even
With the
though
mask.
you knew he couldn't fight. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm just saying if they're able to get things like Thanos right,
Yeah.
and make us believe in watching a movie like that and investing. I'm pretty sure they could find that somewhere. He would actually be a Sergeant Slaughter for me. What's his name? James Brolin. If you put a mustache on that guy, you know what I mean? You could be a good Sergeant Slaughter. Feel me?
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I would definitely, I would definitely have a uh, heavy names attached. I guess you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. But maybe that's what killed it, though. Also, so having heavy names like that.
I
So
Well,
again, I don't
there was
think
no
that's not really the
chemistry.
problem.
I think there was
Yeah.
just the chemistry was an
yeah,
issue with that.
Yeah. You just threw these guys together and then just expected magic to happen, and it's like,
Nope.
yeah, what are you doing? But yeah, I honestly feel like if they just went the MCU route and did like individual movies with like a sprinkling of Cobra throughout, and then boom, Cobra shows up in like an Avengers type movie, I think that would definitely work.
or even as a series, right? If they gave us a
Yeah,
GI Joe series, throw the
it might work
dreadnoughts
better as
in
a
there, make it like
yeah.
Sons of Anarchy. you,
Yeah, I
you
think
feel me?
I
Like
think it might actually
throw a
work better as a
realistic
TV
vibe.
series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
throw
I
a
think it might
realistic
actually
vibe.
work if they made it more grounded too. Yeah, totally. Like I I I can definitely see that working a little bit better in terms of
And
like
then jump the shark
uh
after like season 4. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's when we go into like Cobra
Mhm.
Law and all that shit, and just tell the entire old story showing Serpentor
But
and all these guys. You know
but
what I'm
but the
saying?
real question is, if we do a live action TV series, right? w-
Hmm.
Would they still do the PSAs?
Oh, that'd be
Hell yeah,
awesome.
dude.
You know that
Hell
people would
yeah.
love that.
Hell yeah.
If people are
I
watching
don't know.
goofy shit, like
Yeah.
they'll want that. Yeah. Peacemaker,
I
even though
mean,
it's good, they start the show off with a fucking musical number,
the
right?
musical number. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
That people love. I
Absolutely
fast forward
ridiculous.
through all that shit. Yeah, I fast forward through all that shit, right? But just watching it the first time, I'm just like, holy
The first
shit,
time is
these guys
amazing.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's awesome, but you just can't like unless you enjoy that. If you enjoy that, then
Yeah.
that's fine. Because I know people
No,
like
I'm
started
yeah.
making challenges out of that. But I'm just saying, like, even something as ridiculous as that, they made that show work. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd love to have a GI Joe with the PSAs. They'd have to give me an hour though. Give me an hour show. You know what I mean? If it was done by Disney Plus or something like that, that'd be actually or Marvel, right? If something along those lines where you know
Mhm.
you can get a good 4 seasons, 5 seasons out of that probably.
Yeah, you probably could. You just make them like six to eight episodes a season, and there's some kind of overarching storyline. I think that'd be pretty interesting, especially if your target audience is our age, right? Like if like
I
what
would do
what
season
5-year-old is
one.
gonna be like?
I would do season one where like the end is like if they go 6 or 8 episodes, they can do the what's that the BET where
Broadcast
Oh,
energy transmitter.
where it controls the weather, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And then tell another story or whatever,
Yeah.
like tell another
Mhm.
arc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would go with that one though. Make it big where
Yeah.
they're fighting in the snow. Remember how Quick
Mhm.
Kick is in the snow barefoot too, right?
Barefoot.
He
Yeah.
has on
Without a
like a
shirt.
parka.
No,
Right?
I thought he
Oh,
I thought he went
he
without a
does.
shirt. I thought he
Okay.
went without a shirt. Oh, I don't remember now. Did he have a parka, but he was still barefoot? I cannot remember.
He
It's
was
been a
out there
while since I watched that
barefoot.
movie.
He
It's
was out there
absolutely
barefoot, dude.
yeah, he was
yeah.
barefoot. He had a parka, but no T-shirt.
Okay.
Right?
That
I
sounds
don't
correct. I
remember.
think. Yeah, I
It's
think he
been a
even had a
while.
parka. It was like a gray parka with nothing under. His ninja stars. He actually had his bandolier of ninja stars and shit.
Yes. Okay. I think you're right. It's
And he only had
absolutely
his
ridiculous.
only had the pants from his karate gi. That's pretty much it, right?
Dude, one of
I
the
think you're
greatest
right.
figures ever, dude.
Yeah.
And you can always find him too. Like if you like, hey, you guys have GI Joes. Like, oh, there's Quick Kick. Like they made so many of those figures too. Yeah, you'll always find him. But yeah. He would definitely be in my on my roster though.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Even guys like maybe Spirit. I liked. You guys remember Spirit versus Storm Shadow? How they had their fight on the rocks and stuff like that. That was always badass, right? Like it wasn't Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow, but it was a.
Yeah.
Wait, I think you're a mute, Jeff. I don't know if you were trying to say something.
Oh yeah, Jake, Spirit.
My man, Spirit. Yeah, Jake. Jake's like, oh, how come we got an eagle? I'm like, I don't know, dog. I was like, I don't know.
Because it makes him look badass with the eagle, right?
Another badass
Yeah.
figure too.
Wasn't he wearing like a sleeveless denim jacket?
No, I think it was rolled up. It was rolled up denim.
That's even with tassels.
Like Ultimate Warrior and shit. Man. You know, somebody brought up one time like, oh, those are all characters and all that. I was like, but yeah, it was written by one Asian dude. You know what I mean? Larry Hama created all 80 something, 100 something of those characters. So I'm just like, dude, that's awesome to like, hey, I'm gonna, because he was in the war too, right? So he's like, hey, specific guys are gonna be my buddies or people I know.
Mhm.
I'm gonna base it off certain guys. You know what I mean? So like, it'd be awesome, man. I mean, I've always wanted, to have your own GI Joe or custom GI Joe and all that stuff. And look how far it's gone. We've been talking about the horrible movies that it's gave us and all that stuff. At the same time, they gave us a Damon, a Marlon Wayne's figure.
Yeah.
You know
Oh
what I'm
my
saying?
gosh.
That is insane. They gave us a Channing Tatum figure. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
oh
And
my god, that first movie with like those goddamn power suits, those accelerator suits.
yeah, yes.
Oh my god, it's
Which
so
is what
dumb.
killed the movie, right? People were like, we don't want to
This,
see that.
dude, yeah. I don't want to see it. It's absolutely ridiculous. Just the whole thing of that, and oh god, don't even remind me of that movie. I was so disappointed.
What annoyed me more was why the hell was Duke and the Baroness in a relationship or a previous relationship?
They
That made
couldn't
no
even
sense.
get they couldn't even get a character like the Baroness right. I mean, should have been played by a European too. Instead, she was played by the great Sienna Miller, right?
Yep.
Sienna Miller, yeah. Wait, isn't Sienna Miller? Isn't she British?
Yeah,
Was she?
yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was British.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She
I I
was.
I'll take my comment back. What's up, Grub Life? How are you? How's it going, bro? I hope everything. We're just nerding out real quick. Actually, your name did come up last week because they were like, "Hey, are you guys Star Wars or Star Trek guys?" And they were talking about how Grub Life is very much a Star, and we've had Grub on the show before talking about his love for Star Trek and all that stuff. So shout out to you, Grub Life. And he said, "Yep, you already know," is what he's saying. I will say I like the gadgets more from Star Trek. Like I've seen we used to have that at the comic book shop I worked at. So they have all the phasers and the fucking what's that? So the thing you wear, the transponded yada yadas. You know
The
what I'm saying?
tricorder.
Yeah, there you go.
From the original show. The
Yeah,
big,
from the original
big like
show. Yeah.
the big
hmm
one. Yeah.
My boss had all these. God, what is it? The furry guys now.
Triples.
Tribbles or whatever.
Tribbles.
He had a
Yeah.
whole bunch
Mhm.
of those too, just around. I used to kick him around there while I gave Joff free Cheetos and Pepsi. I'm like, here you go, Joff. It's on the house. I just don't like the religious aspect of Star Wars, is what Grub Life is saying. He doesn't. He's not
Mm.
down with the Force of it being.
Mhm.
But they explained that it was midichlorians, right? Which is
Yeah.
Josh's favorite thing, right? The whole midichlorians thing. So I'm just saying, they've kind of dialed down on it, I believe. So, um, is rather the
I don't know.
sheer
I never really looked at it as a religion. I know what's his name, one of the admirals or whatever, basically called it a dying religion when he was talking to Vader about that. Um, but I don't know. I've never really seen it as a religion because it's not about faith, right? The Force is not about faith in anything. Well, maybe belief in yourself, I guess. So I suppose if you're looking at it that way, then but it's not really a belief about a higher being. You are the higher being, and you believe in yourself that you're able to do things. You know, that's kind of what it feels like to
dun,
me,
dun, dun,
anyways.
dun.
Well, pretty much the Force is the higher being, right?
Right, but it's not like but it's not like but it's not a faith kind of thing, right? Like you don't get stronger in the Force by just believing in it. You have to actually
Yeah,
work at it. You have to
yeah.
actually do stuff. You know,
You have to,
and
but you are submitting to the Force, right? You have to be because you're giving yourself. You're being one with the Force,
mm,
right?
yes
That
and
could be a
I guess yes and no. But really, what is the Force? It is a thing that binds everybody together. But it's your connection to the Force and how you improve yourself.
Grub Life is saying. I
Depends
believe
on
he's
the number of
meaning to say.
midichlorians.
I believe Grub Life saying they're all priests that went bad. I believe he's talking about the Jedi Order. So he's saying they're all priests that went bad.
Maybe. I mean, yes, part of it, yeah. But I mean, if your organization has been around for like thousands and thousands of years, yeah, people are going to look at it differently after a millennia or two. So
That's why I'm pro Sith, right? There's only two of y'all, and either one's got to go, right?
yeah.
You feel me? Jedi's like to keep secrets, right?
Hmm.
They like to order clone armies letting people
Right.
without letting people know.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go. Hey man, I'm gonna use my Jedi influence, order a clone army, keep it quiet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Die.
Well,
You
the
know what I'm
reason why
saying?
they
And then
keep it
have somebody
quiet,
stumble upon it.
the reason why they keep it quiet in general, like they're all their shit, is because they got beat down back in the day when there was the Jedi Sith War, and so apparently they had to, and that's kind of the reason why they went to Rule of Two, I believe, is because they had to keep things quiet and keep it on the down low, and
Mm.
um, and Rule of Two is supposed to encourage the apprentice to get stronger, to take down your master, because if you're able to take down your master, you're strong enough to it's basically tiers, right? Like here's your master, here's the apprentice. You have to be this strong to take down your master, and then your apprentice has to be this strong, and eventually over years, over time, whoever's the master should be insanely strong
Yeah,
after a
but if
certain.
you're the master, what's your incentive to fucking really teach your, like, train your apprentice? You know what I mean?
um Oops.
All right, let's continue. Sorry
Oh,
about that.
here we go. Hi.
Sorry
Are
about
we
that,
still
guys.
waiting for Ron, or wonder
All
what's
right,
going
Can
on
you not
here?
see me?
I can see.
This is Leon.
I can see you.
Leon. Oh, that's kind of weird.
You guys see me?
Yeah,
All
I
right,
can
yeah.
see.
Go ahead and continue on.
I think it might just be my computer then. Uh, Hold on. Let me leave for a second.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah, I
Hmm.
can see.
I can see you.
Yeah,
All right, I'm on.
for some reason I can't see or hear anything.
Right? Is that? Oh, I thought you were doing the song from Price is Right.
John Cena.
John Cena. Whereas Jason has
That your boy Jay?
Nah,
Cena?
man.
no, Santino says John Cena. Huh?
Yeah, John Cena. Isn't here John Cena? Or
That Juan Cena shit is
or
still
his,
funny, dude.
or his lordship,
Juan Cena is funny.
Yeah, that Juan Cena, dude.
or his lordship when he calls Umaga Umanga.
Oh, William Regal. There's
Umanga.
Ninja right now. Are we good, Ninja?
Yeah. I couldn't hear and see anyone. It was really weird.
All right. Well, we look very good on screen. This is a Hub 408 episode 142. Thank you guys for joining us. If you happen to be in the chat, give us a hi. We'll put your name on the screen. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, whatever, go ahead and write down your little message. You know what I'm saying? And the media man, the big man, and our surprise buddy. You know what I mean? We'll go ahead and put that down there below. We'll read it for you. Joff, every time I see that interview with Scott Hall, I think about my good friend Joffrey. You know, just because he said the big man, the medium-sized man, and our surprise buddy. Like, to refer to somebody who's going to come in and destroy your company as your surprise buddy. It's just hilarious to me. Just again, sorry about that, guys. We're talking about all types of stuff. But shout out to our man Grub Life, who just showed us some love. You know, Star Wars always seems to touch our podcast, or also our friendship. We've talked about this property, so much. Maybe not so much Star Trek, you know what I mean, but we do recognize it. You know what I mean? It's just, I wasn't invested as I was a Star Wars.
Yeah, I just couldn't get into it. I just never got into it. I don't know why. I just never.
Although one of my first stuffed animals or stuffed things back in the day was it was a Mr. Spock figure with a plastic Spock head. It's probably worth a lot of money right now. You know what I mean? But that was one of my first toys. So I don't know why my mom thought that Dr. Spock would want to sleep with me. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was Leonard Nimoy. That's why.
Probably, right? He was a very handsome gentleman, right? Stoic face, right? Just you know what I mean? Good looking dude and stuff. So, but yeah, I've always talked about how I would have that in the background while I'm playing with my toys. I would be watching the next generation and some of the older stuff too. You know what I mean? But I just never paid attention enough to actually know, the stories and all that stuff. So. But yeah, we're just goofing around, guys. We hope you guys are doing good. Again, go ahead and leave us messages in the comments. We'll talk about we're talking about everything today: movies, comic books, music, whatever's. I did want to bring up one thing. I actually had a conversation with my cousin Ryan the other day, and he was like, "Hey." All these, we're talking about comic books, and he was like, hey, a lot of the books from like, the 90s to like 2000s or whatever, they're gaining in value just because of the way things are now with the movies and all this stuff. And he was like, he's all off the top of your head, he's all, what's the most expensive book you have in your, in your collection right now? And I was like, shoot, I don't know, because I don't know what the value of certain things are nowadays, right? Although I'll remember certain issues to where it's like, say X-Men 2 something, whatever, or 180 something, or like some of those iconic covers. I'll walk into a comic book store and I'll be like, oh wow, that's $90. I didn't know that's $90. I have a copy of that. You know what I mean? and he said that at the time, he said at a time where uh, I think he stopped collecting. I think he stopped collecting. A friend of him gave him some books. Friend of him gave him some books for his birthday, and he was like, "Oh, happy birthday! I got these for you." You know, he was like, "All right, cool, thanks." And he had a conversation with somebody maybe a couple of weeks ago to where he's like, "Hey, I'm meeting Jim Lee, or I'm doing some work for Jim Lee. I could get you some books signed." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll give you some stuff." You know, so he was looking through his stuff, and his friend was like, "Hey, you might have expensive books, you just don't know it yet, or whatever it is." So, at the time when he wasn't buying books anymore, his friend gave him, I believe, a first appearance Miles Morales. And that book is like going for at least $1,000, like online right now.
Really?
I
Really?
believe so. Yeah, it's like $1,000 book. So I was just
Jesus.
like,
Okay.
wow, that's crazy how even things not that far away. Miles
Yeah.
Morales isn't that far away from us, right? Like
hmm
it's
Yeah, he was
fairly
part of the
near.
Ultimates universe. Yeah.
That something like that could be worth a lot. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, when he was out, he's like, "What's the most expensive thing you have in your collection?" I was like, "I don't know. I have good stuff though. Like I have the Wolverine number ones. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'll have some of that stuff. I'll have like, just old stuff. Because
Yeah.
that's what I most liked. The 86, 80, 85 through 95. You know what I mean? That entire run. But even the stuff that we thought was like whack or was getting whack, or even those
Mhm.
have gone up in value. Like I didn't
Yeah.
think like Spider-Man 2099 or whatever would ever be worth, things like that. But people fucking actually love that shit. They're like, dude, those books are so
It
hard to
was
get.
it was it was fairly popular back then too. Actually, that's the only one that actually lasted, right? Because there was also Ghost Rider 2099. I think there was also Punisher 2099. There's a
Yep, yep.
couple of 2099 books. I think Spider Man was the only one that lasted a while. So I think
Mm,
that one's actually a legit good book. I have Spider Man 2099 number one. I think somewhere. I
mm.
think I have it. I can't remember though. I haven't looked through my collection in a bit, so I think I might have it, but I wasn't a huge fan of it as a kid just because the art was not something that the 2099
Yeah, who did that? Do you remember
line.
who did the art on
No,
that?
I don't. I do not remember. It's been such a long time. I cannot remember who did the art for that. But I think I think 2099 is also going to be in the new Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse movie. I
Yeah,
think
they teased it.
so. Yeah, so that should be going up in value.
It's crazy. He was telling, yeah, there's this one book that I guess what started off the conversation was there's this book. I think it's Batman. It's either Batman 427 or like Detective Comics 427. It's a Jim Lee cover with him holding a chick, and Jim Lee only does the cover. He only
Hmm.
does the cover. He doesn't even do the interior art. That's when he was
Okay.
just a cover artist,
Yeah.
right?
So it wasn't like the Hush line or anything like that.
No, and we're talking
No,
about
the Hush
this is like
storyline.
89, 90. You know what I mean? And I remember that.
Batman? You said
Yeah,
Batman
yeah, yeah.
back in
So
the
this,
80s?
yeah,
Did
or
he do
probably
Batman in
early
the
90s,
80s?
just as a cover artist, just as a cover artist.
Hmm.
So I remember having this book back in the day, and him too having it back in the day. He was like, dude, he did the cover. That's the only reason why I
Okay.
bought this book. So I was like, oh shit, I'll buy that too.
Yeah.
Off the strength of okay, you know, even something like that now is worth a fucking. It's worth a lot. You know what I mean? Just because he did the cover. So it's just crazy how one piece of, what I mean, a cover, him being a cover artist during that time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think it was short. This is probably around the same time that McFarlane did year one, year two. Like first it was Alan Davis, and then it went to McFarlane, and and it was the Reaper. I don't know if you guys remember that character. Batman fought the Reaper. That's that was one of my favorites too. So Hi, how you
Yeah, I'm
doing, Ari?
looking at
How are you?
2099. So it's created by Peter David, and the artist is Rick Leonardi.
Dude, I was just gonna mention him if it was him, because I actually like this stuff. Like I don't know if you guys back in the day, but I used to only buy comics based on the art. I didn't even really give a fuck about the storylines when I was a kid, just as long as the
Yeah,
art
as
was
a
good,
kid, yeah, as a
right?
kid,
So Rick
totally.
Leonardi was actually up there for me. I know he did this one story, but it's like it was Thanos and Spider Man, where they had a conversation or whatever. But I remember Rick Leonardi doing that book, and I just always kind of liked his art and stuff. So
Hmm.
certain guys, right? They're not really big level guys, but they were consistent in doing certain books, right? Like
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you guys if you know off top what's one of your guys' most valuable comics in your guys' box. You know what I mean? Joff, would you happen to know
Uh, I
in your
might have.
in your singles box? Would it be Walking Dead or would it be like
I
Kick
might
Ass?
have.
What would you have?
I might have the first appearance of Deadpool somewhere because he
Mm,
he
New
he
Mutants,
appeared.
right?
New
Not
Mutants. Yeah.
X Force, right? He
No, I
first
thought he
appeared
showed
in
up
that.
in New Mutants first,
Yeah, before it became X Force.
right? I thought so.
Yeah, it was like it was
Was
right
it?
after Cable, because Cable was like New Mutants '87, I believe. What's up, Danny? How are you, brother? Just talking about comic books real quick and the value that they have now. So something like
Yeah, or
Deadpool's first appearance would be hell
or
expensive right
I
now,
don't even
Josh.
know how much Spawn #1 is. I probably have that somewhere. Uh,
Mm.
New
uh,
Mutants '98 is Deadpool's first appearance.
oh, then it's not. It's not. Then
That's
I
the
don't
one with
have it.
like he's on the cover with like Gideon, right?
Yeah, then
Yeah.
I don't have that then. Uh,
Yeah, with Gideon, it also has Domino on there. Yeah.
Danny saying my older brother collected too. He had crates. I'm just yo, Danny, if your brother never wants his comic books no more, holler at me, Doug. No, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Ooh, look
It's
at this. Look at this comment right here too. Everyone looks so angry. We're chilling. We chilling. We good. How are you, Kestux? I don't know if Kestux is still in the building, but thank you so much for your message. Krisney is in the house too. What's up, Chris? How are you? We're just talking about comic books real quick and what is in your
It's
collection.
gonna
What do
yeah.
you
be
I don't.
say?
I don't. I don't know really. I don't know. I probably have some.
it's got to be one of the Marvel swimsuit issues.
Dude, those are expensive actually. Trying to find those classic ones from the 90s. Like,
Yeah.
I remember Jim Lee did one too, right? Where he did all X-Men in their bikinis and stuff like that. That was kind
Yeah.
of dope.
This is looking back on it, it's so cringy. So cringy now. It's like, oh my god, this is really such a guys industry, and oh, so ridiculous. but
When men were
that was the
men, huh?
but that was the market back then. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Punisher
know.
books, huh?
I don't actually. I don't know what's in my stuff. Yeah, nothing.
Uh, Probably like one of my.
Shadowhawk #1.
I mean,
Nah,
I've got like
I
Oh,
some
don't have that.
signed.
I don't have
I've got some
Shadowhawk.
signed stuff here and there that could be worth something. I have no idea.
I was gonna say, Joff, were you a big Jim Valentino fan?
Nah.
What you think about his art? What you think about Jim Valentino's art? Yeah.
Nah.
He
I
was like
don't.
almost a better Sal Buscema. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to like hate reading like it's fucking Sal Buscema. But now that I'm older, I'm just like, dude, this guy fucking grinded, dude. You know how many issues this guy has under his fucking belt? Sal Buscema.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has so many. I mean, you may not like his art because it's like generic, Kirby-esque or
Or it's
No,
like
it's not
filler,
even.
Ramita-esque.
It's not even
Ramita-esque,
filler
man.
Kirby-esque.
artwork.
It's just it's nothing flashy. It's like filler shit.
Yeah, that's basically right. It's like filler
Like
art.
But this is what
him,
I don't get, right? We won't like his shit, but then we'll like Frank Miller shit. You know what I'm
because
saying?
it's different. It's like at least Frank's a little different. Yes, Frank. There's a discernible uh style. It's like guys like it's it sounds so bad, but because they put in a lot of work. It's like, dude,
Mhm.
penciling a page is not. It takes a long time, but
Yeah.
just for the lack of a better description, it was just like the Hammond-Eggers, like him, Mark Bagley, dudes that crank out art, but it's nothing that would wow
Would you
you.
throw
It's
Ron
just
Lim in there? Would you throw
Consistent.
Ron Lim in there?
Consistent.
it's consistently like hey, you meet the
Hammond
deadlines.
Eggers.
Yeah, like the people that meet deadlines, like
Yeah.
consistently,
Yeah.
like
Consistent.
God
reliable,
bless
Meeting
like
them.
deadlines. Yeah.
reliable guys. It's like
Dark horse artists.
it's like it's like you're the Miz.
What about Ron Lim? Would you throw Ron Lim in there?
Uh,
Or George Perez? You like
No,
See,
George
the thing
Perez?
about Ron, so yeah, Ron Lim has been a part of such huge
yeah,
arcs. Same thing with George Perez as
yeah. George
well.
Perez is a
It's
fucking
hard
legend.
to
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to separate that in that way,
You
For
like
me, it
George?
is.
You guys like George Perez?
I mean, he's kind of
Nah.
iconic in terms of his work.
It's an acquired
I think it's.
taste, huh?
I
In a
don't.
way.
I don't know. I don't think
It's
Yeah,
so.
too good. It's too good, too consistent.
George Perez is a chatty Cathy.
hey, he's not doing good right now.
Yeah,
Mm.
he's
on
sick
his
right now, isn't he?
he's on his way out because he has cancer,
man.
and then he opted to just go on hospice. So it's really any
Right.
time we could go.
Yeah.
He's losing his
man.
sight and stuff like that. So. Yeah, no, George Perez just I don't I'm not a huge fan, but I could see like dude, like all the group shit, like all
The
the
group
fucking
stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
The
that's
group.
where he shines. Like
The amount of characters
yeah,
on one page. That's
yeah,
what.
that's
Yeah.
where he's like fucking blows everybody away. Like all his group stuff. Like fucking
Yeah.
drawing every DC hero in a fucking poster for
I
fucking
mean, he's also
crisis.
what? Yeah, I'm looking at it. He's the crisis artist. I
Yeah.
can't really, I can't sit here and be like, nah, his shit is filler. Maybe his later stuff was not that great, but the '80s stuff for sure is awesome. Like I think it's awesome, anyways. I think part of it is also because like I'm looking at some of the stuff too, and his old stuff is on like it's on different kinds of paper too, and I think it looks better in that kind of paper. The old newspaper type print,
Mhm.
whereas nowadays they tend to be a little bit more glossy.
Yeah.
I think the glossy stuff makes me not like a lot of people's artwork more. Weirdly
It's
enough,
too clean.
yeah, yeah.
But I
I
like
think so.
newsprint. I like newsprint anyway. I like the
That
look
old
of
school
dots.
newsprint feel. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks so dope.
Um, or like Star Wars artists, I think are pretty kind of generic. Like Star Wars comics, like the older stuff. Well, that when I say Dark Horse, I kind of mean Dark Horse Star Wars. Like a lot of the art for like X-wing, let's say, right? Like a lot of the art for that line is kind of
Yeah,
it's
like
passable. It's fine.
it's
It's fine, but it's not people's names that it would stick in my head.
they're not like they're You're fucking utility infielder. You don't know them, but they, you know, fill the lineup. They're reliable. They meet deadlines.
Yeah, they turn double plays just as well as your starter. They're hitting
Yeah, nothing
a
fancy.
solid two. They're hitting a solid 200, maybe 230.
Yeah, it's nothing
On
fancy.
base
They just,
percentage
you
is
know,
about the same.
they're just probably like the editors or whatever. Probably just like, I know this guy is gonna get his shit in time,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
his work done in time. So I'm gonna give him like this assignment. You know, he'll do, and he'll do a
Sal
four.
Buscema, right?
Yeah, he'll do a 4 issue run, and then somebody's gonna come in, do a 4 issue run, and then he's gonna come back on the next, the next arc, shit like that.
Mhm.
I always say
Let
Sal
me.
Buscema just because it's so yeah. This is almost kind of like Jim Valentino. Like Jim Valentino's like just a better Sal Buscema.
Yeah, I think Jim.
It's not that great. Also, it's not that great. Also,
He's not, but I think the reason why he's popular is probably because of he has his own image comic, right? He's an image founder. He left with everybody else to form Image, right? So that's
they couldn't
probably
just say,
why.
"Man, we don't want you here," right? Because he quit.
Yeah,
He's like, I'll quit too.
yeah.
They're like, "Oh shit,
All
dude."
right, so yeah, here's a guy that drew Dark Horse Comics X-wing Rogue Squadron for his particular run. There's a guy named Alan Nunes. I honestly had to look this up because I was like, I'm a huge X-wing fan. I love Rogue Squadron. The comic books are amazing. Michael Stackpole is one of my. I follow his X-wing stuff. Like he wrote the comics and the novels. I love his stuff, right? But I have no idea who drew it. And I'm
Mm.
looking it up, and I'm like, "Who's Alan Nunes? Nunis? I have no idea who that guy is. I have no idea what he's done outside of Star Wars, Rogue Squadron. That's those are kind of. I mean, I hate to say it, but those are the artists for me are kind of like the filler artists, and
Mm.
it really does suck to put it like that because their work is solid, but they're not flashy. They're not a Jim Lee. They're not a Todd McFarlane. They're not those guys. Unfortunately, they're not the superstars.
You know who I really liked, but then as he got, sometimes you come across guys where it's like their art looked totally different from when they first, it's progression, right? But some guys
Mhm.
either become better by being consistent and give you the same stuff, kind of like an Art Adams, where his stuff is clean and he'll
Mhm.
give you the same good stuff every year with improvement. But then you'll have
Yeah,
somebody that just like John Romita Jr. If you look at his stuff
yeah,
in the '80s with the early X-Men, and then you look at his '90s stuff, they got bigger, blockier, more
hmm
rough, a
yeah.
little edgier. But one guy I
His
really liked,
his Eternals are really weird too.
right? I mean, just yeah. But one guy I really liked, and then maybe for me, it just turned me off, maybe because of how clean it was. But that artist said, is it Dale Keown? Am I
Dale
saying this right?
Keown,
It,
the
Yeah,
Incredible
who did
Hulk,
Pit?
and the
it,
Pit
yeah.
guy, and the guy who did Pit.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. He took over, I think, right after McFarlane did a run on Hulk, right?
Mm.
McFarlane did a run
Okay.
on Hulk, and then he came right after that, and
He was,
his
yeah.
Hulk stuff was fucking dope. His Hulk
Yeah.
stuff was amazing. Like you wanted to read it because the art was so good. But then when he
Mm.
started doing Pit, who's yeah, it could be a Hulk ripoff just because of difference, certain things. But I just I like this stuff better on Hulk because
Mm.
it seemed like it got too clean. His stuff maybe it was too good, or maybe it was because we're getting into the whole digital coloring maybe during that time, right? As technology's going on, you know
Mm.
what I
Mm.
mean? It's not
Yeah.
fucking my favorite inker of all time, Scott Williams, right? Him and Jim Lee was they're fucking awesome, dude.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So somebody like Scott Williams, I will he's like my guy forever. You know what I mean? He'll no one will ever be better than him. Even though I don't know that, it's just because he did the shit before it was digital. You know what I'm saying? He did this shit all before it was you could do it digital. That's why I like really fucked with him. You know what I mean? What up, Upkick? We're just talking about comic books real quick. I hope you're doing well. Thank you guys for joining us. This is episode 142 of the Hub 408. Hope you guys are doing well. We're just talking about comic books, talking about, you know, the old days, the value of comics nowadays, you know what I mean? So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, go ahead and let us know down there. Hey, Press Play is in the building. Thank you so much for that Easter Bunny. I appreciate you. What up, user 304? We're just talking about comic books. What's the most expensive comic book you guys have in your collection? Let us know down below. If you guys have any other comments and questions, go ahead and thing. Because this is the only comment we've had so far.
I don't.
By Kestux39. Everyone looks so angry. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Hey, Press Play.
You'd be angry too if you lived in a country as wild as America.
Yeah. Does a manga count as comic books? Yes. If you have a favorite one or a valuable one, let us know and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
The thing about manga though, I mean they're almost built to be not worth anything, in terms of like collectability. But I mean, obviously, there's definitely stuff that's gonna be worth it. But the whole point of like manga is like solo. Do you have that, Cloud? Do you actually have a legit copy of that, or is it all digital? Because that doesn't count.
Hey, Press Play saying, Robot Boy. That's my most valuable one and the first comic I bought, is what Press Play is saying.
How much is
Astro Boy?
This Battle Chasers worth? Are they worth something?
I don't think it's worth anything.
Is that Joe Mad?
Yeah,
Joe Mad,
right?
Joe Mad.
See, and I loved his stuff too. I love fucking Joe.
His stuff too. Yeah.
I loved his X-Men stuff.
His X-Men stuff is super
fucking
great. Yeah.
Badass. And then all of a sudden he goes and leaves.
I think part of our problem with Joe.
Did he do Crimson or no?
No, that was Humberto Ramos.
Humberto Ramos. My fault.
Who has very similar art style.
Yes.
Very anime influenced art style. I feel like they leaned a little too hard into the anime style, though. I think.
Joe Mad is so good. They released just penciled version of his fucking
of his books of his work. Yeah.
It's like, no. His art is really cool. It's very dynamic. I really like the look of it. Yes, but I feel like Battle Chasers Joe Mad is not as good as X-Men Joe Mad. Like Uncanny X-Men Joe Mad.
It's right here. Fucking.
That X-Men run is fucking amazing, dude.
It's cool. It's super dope.
His Ultimates run is. I always have it on fucking like.
On deck.
Yeah, dude. Because I
have it ready. Yeah, you have it ready.
It's
that does look really cool. Yeah,
like
that looks amazing.
Just all pencils.
Yeah,
it's like they release. Yeah, it's like any page. It's like fucking just pencils, dude. Fucking, just got it on deck.
Yeah.
Man, I'd be making fucking photocopies of that shit and fucking working. I'd be getting down on those. Like, all right, let me fill these in.
Learn how to color. Learn how to color.
Some on some Joe Mad shit, dude. But that's what I'm saying. Certain guys I'll like, and then all of a sudden they get too good, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like Jay Lee. Like if you remember his early stuff.
Yeah, Jay Lee changed up.
Like.
Yo.
Yeah.
Jay Lee,
like his early Image stuff, super like grimy and like black ink everywhere. Yep. Then you look at his like Inhumans run, right? The Paul Jenkins Jay Lee Inhumans
fucking
run.
badass.
much cleaner,
Yeah.
much cleaner,
Yep.
but very different.
Yeah.
Like it's not as angular anymore. You know, like his old stuff was super angular, sharp stuff everywhere, right?
What
And then
did
you
he
look at it,
What
like,
did he do before going to Image? He worked on Prince Namor, right?
I think for a little bit, yeah.
He had
I don't actually.
he did some X Factor stuff
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
because he
okay.
was part of that Executioner song crossover with the X books,
Ah, yes.
and I was looking forward to his because like he took on, I think, X Factor. He has X Factor, so he had that part. I think Greg Capullo had X Force or something, and whoever was
Wait, was
on
Greg
X.
Capullo around then?
I think so. Yeah.
On
Yeah, yeah, he was on X Force
hmm.
before he
That's
left.
another artist who got fucking way better
Yeah,
as
before
he.
McFarlane poached him.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he actually got better throughout the years.
Yep.
Yeah, Dan
100%.
Panosian. Dan Panosian got better, got way better. It's like totally different now.
Yeah,
His style. It's like,
I remember his stuff used to be really rough and very fake
dude, it's
bootleg
trash.
Liefeld, right?
Yeah, it was trash. I hated him because he was an
Yeah.
inker,
okay.
and then he did the first couple of issues of Prophet,
Yeah.
and he was straight like Rob Liefeld fucking clone,
Hmm.
like with Dan Frega and Marat Michaels or
Dan
whatever.
Fraga,
Oh
that's
my god!
another guy that
Oh
was
my
just so
god!
bad.
And Rob Michaels, dude, the entire Rob Liefeld expanded universe,
Yeah,
their art
Extreme
was so
Studios.
similar and so bad.
I think he just got people that wanted to draw like him and worship him, huh?
Yeah,
You
so
know what I'm
bad.
saying?
Okay, so
And
Jay
I
Lee
was,
was on Namor before he went to X Factor,
That's what I remembered him from the
and
Namor
then
stuff.
he did his whole Hell Shock. Oh, he worked on
I
Wildcats
bought into
trilogy
that too.
originally.
I wonder if that's worth anything. Is Hell Shock?
Hell Shock. I don't know if it's worth anything. The story
I doubt
is
it.
is not interesting at all, but I just
No.
love his art. His art is so fucking. The imagery of Hellshock was so cool. I have it somewhere,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, it was not an interest. It was not interesting at all. And then yeah, like I think his artwork actually got weirdly cleaner, which I don't know if I like so much, but it's more palatable in terms of like mainstream audience. I think.
it's fucking, I just,
Yeah, I'm just looking at his stuff right now.
it's fucking Extreme Studios, dog.
Huh?
Extreme Studios.
Extreme Studio, yeah. What happened to all those guys? I think we
I
kind
just
of
got,
talked about this for a while, right? Like
I don't know.
last time. Like what happened
I
to
just
those
got,
dudes?
they hit some drama, I think, with Liefeld. I don't know. But
Probably.
fucking Blood Strike. It's all young blood shit. Like
Yeah.
his Lobo ripoff, like Blood Wolf or whatever.
Oh, dude, so bad.
Yes.
Such a
Oh
terrible.
my god, fucking Blood Wolf. Fucking fucking Craig. I thought at that time, because I was a huge Liefeld fan, right? And we had like
Uh-huh.
there's they're starting a little college magazine, kind of like Wizard, and they wanted me to do a Blood Wolf pinup because they said like, oh yeah, your shit's kind of like Liefeld, and I was like, I thought it
Really?
was a I thought it was a compliment at that time because Liefeld was one of my influences. So I'm like, cool, I'll do it. And fucking, I was new, and like I didn't hang around them as all that much. And then as you spend more time with them, like they're not really Liefeld fans. So I'm like, I thought it was a compliment at that time. I thought I was like, oh fuck, I suck, I guess. So I'd like kind of spurred me to fucking look for other influences and whatever.
when I
But
Mm.
when I show you that right there, that's I believe New Mutants. Uh, I guess a first full appearance of Cable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because his first appearance is like a gun, like you see his back or something like that. I think.
Actually, I think his very first appearance actually, and I have that. I believe it's X-Men 201. It's Cyclops versus Storm for the leadership. He's in there as a baby. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
I don't know if that
yeah.
that really
Is that
counts.
Youngblood one? I think I have that
I have that
somewhere.
too.
When I show
Weirdly enough,
when I show you this,
Rob
what do
Liefeld
you
got worse.
Yeah, he
Like when you
did.
think about it, he did, right? Like
Yeah,
his Marvel stuff is. I think his Marvel stuff is actually better, and I think that's why I never really thought about it. But his
what
Marvel
do you
stuff.
think about
Well,
that right
no,
there? His
before that, his New Mutant stuff is better than his post New Mutant stuff. I want to say, like, look at that.
I
That's
believe
so
this could be some
trash.
current stuff right here. That's his current stuff, I think, right there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it looks really bad. But if you look at the X Force cover, like that one with the Juggernaut right there, or
Oh, he's awesome here, right?
like
This
that
holds up
looks
pretty
all
well.
right. Yeah, that looks all right. I mean, it still has the trademark no
What about
background.
that?
That is probably the worst. Probably considered the
Joff,
worst.
what do you think about that, Joff?
fuck, man.
What do you think about that?
How,
Look at that.
dude? How did that fucking?
How did
Who
this?
How,
inked
How
this?
did he
Like,
get? Who got clearance?
how did the editors
yeah,
not go, hey, maybe we need to redraw this?
yeah,
That is honestly
Jason,
exactly.
you
terrible.
ever see a chest like that, dude? Look at that.
Yeah, in the bodybuilding competition for sure. But
Not like
Look at
that, dude.
No, not even like that, dude. The perspective is so off.
is
and
oh no,
what's
never
hiding
mind. Because
behind the shield.
I thought he was
No,
arching. I thought he was arching. Never mind.
no. The perspective is wrong. Like even
So
if you're
bad.
sticking your chest out, it's just terrible.
Yeah,
But yeah, look at that Deadpool cover, the one with Deadpool and Gideon right there. I mean, does it hide a
That's
lot of his
still
flaws? Yes, but it's still solid, right? Like it's still okay.
the feet. I'm
And
always looking at the feet and the
look at the
ankles.
feet, look at the wrist, look at the wrist. But and everyone's face has like these whisker marks on there and looking
Yep.
things. Like there's always these
Hmm.
wrinkles on everybody. It's so weird. But I
Oh
feel like yeah, he
man,
totally got worse.
I used to draw like that.
We fell in love with this, though, right? This is what we
He was my dude. Me and
Look at that
Josh.
X Force. Look at that X Force cover.
hiding with the
That's
clouds, right?
Yeah, I think I have
but
that.
it's yeah,
X Force One.
yeah. I think part of it is the shitty printing back then. It kind of hides the flaws. Like you put it on a like glossy print, his art pops out and looks terrible. I
Man,
feel.
who are these dudes?
What
Is that
Domino, Shatterstar, Cable? Oh, I think that's Caliban right there.
Yeah.
is that
I don't know
Thunderbird?
who the. Oh, Proudstar,
Yeah.
maybe James Proudstar. Yeah, probably. I think that's about right.
What'd you think about?
They have so many teeth. Yeah, look at all the teeth in that guy's mouth.
I actually was kind of juiced when I was like, "Oh, dude, we'll get to see a Rob Liefeld Wolverine," and it was okay.
Yeah, Blood Wolf right there, bro.
Where is it at? Oh, he's like
So
Lobo,
bad.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
His
Craig.
base
He's
is
like Lobo, right?
yeah,
Fucking
so
Craig.
bad, so bad.
It's like, God,
And this is the man we're talking about right there, Rob Liefeld.
dude,
You
Blood
feel
Wolf.
me?
You kind of draw like Liefeld. Cool.
Thanks for the compliment.
Thank you.
It wasn't meant as a compliment.
I know.
Is this his
Now,
stuff right
yeah,
here? That's
now.
actually that don't look bad if that's his stuff right there. I don't think that's his. Is that
I don't
his?
think that's him.
Look at
No.
that shield though. Look at the shield. Look how warped it is.
Yeah.
Right? It's
No, it's definitely warped. I don't think it's him though. That doesn't seem like a Rob Liefeld art. It's not broken enough.
oh man, is this his right here? Doing an Iron Man.
Well, you can't really fuck up Venom, right?
Is,
I mean,
is that his though? That looks like a McFarlane Venom. I could be wrong.
I don't.
Remember how back in the day you could just tell who was who without even looking at them? Like, yep,
Yeah,
that's
I mean
Jen.
that's definitely a Rob Liefeld artwork right there because of that pose
What do you think about that, Joff?
and the swords. Look at the swords. Look how off the perspective is on Shatterstar's sword
Well,
and Domino.
I think what just shook me off like what got me off of the Liefeld wagon was it was an issue of X, I think might have been X Force 5 or 8. It was the first couple of pages was Liefeld, but it was a Cable flashback issue. So during the flashback, it was Mike Mignola, and
Mm.
because
That's one of your guys too, right, Joff?
yeah, that's when I'm like, dude,
Mm.
Liefeld fucking is garbage. Because
Fell
it
off.
because it
Just
was right
instantly fell
there.
off.
Because it was right there. Like, it's just the
Mm.
comparisons right there. You turn the page, and it
Right.
was like so different. So I'm just like, yeah, this one, yeah, X Force 8. It's Mike Mignola. Mike Mignola is like most of the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a Cable flashback issue.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
That one I for sure have. That one's like one of my
Yeah.
like I held on. I made sure I held on to that one.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Look,
that.
here's the other one. Look at that X Force. Look at that X Force cover. Classic Rob Liefeld, no background. Like that guy has no idea how
This
to
one?
draw backgrounds. No. The one that you have on right now. The one that you have on right now on the
This
side.
one right here?
On the no, the one that's enlarged. The one that you clicked on.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
X
gotcha.
Force
gotcha.
number 8. Yeah, like that's
Yeah, just
classic
running
Rob
lines
Liefeld.
through the back.
If that, like this one has lines,
If
but look
that.
at some of his other covers. They don't have lines. It's just white. Like some of his other covers are just white or like yeah. What-
No, they just leave it to the colorist. It's like, hey, do something. Put some smoke in it or something.
yeah, he doesn't actually draw backgrounds. Like none Bedrock or I'm sorry, Bad
Bad
Rock.
character.
It's bad
Right.
rock.
Bad Rock. It's like a shitty Shazam, basically.
No,
You
it
know,
was a
it's
thing.
weird.
He was a thing ripoff.
Well, yeah, but the fact that he's a kid in an adult's
Oh
body.
yeah, that's right. He's a kid.
Yeah, he was like a teenager or some shit like that. Yeah, look at that. No bad.
John, what do you think
Actually,
about that, dude?
That's not Rob Liefeld, I don't think.
It
right?
is. That's his artwork
Is
right
it?
there. Yeah. I'm
He
looking
probably
at it
did the
right now.
cover.
Just the
Bloodstrike.
cover.
That's like Marat Michaels or something.
Yeah, because I
It's
thought that
pretty
was
much an homage to his old shit, right? Of the Deadpool cover.
Probably, yeah.
With the faces,
Oh, it is.
yeah, with the faces
It is
right
literally that. Yeah. Uh-huh. But it's exactly this. It's actually exactly the same as that
It's
Deadpool
like
cover.
Die Hard. His Die Hard, like the Youngblood character. It's pretty much Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my dude right there, Blood Wolf.
Yeah,
look
it's
at that
weird. Like,
God, they're saying that he. Well, I don't know how old this news is, but they're saying that Netflix was trying to work on a Rob Liefeld universe type, for all his properties.
Look at the comparison, Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld. Look, go up like the Superman. He passed it. There you go, right there.
Oh man.
yeah.
Look at that right there, John. Without the shield. Jason, what do you think about that? There's a black square too on the. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. There's a black square on his unit. Yeah, that's pretty funny right there.
They didn't even put pasties on his nipples. Hella sticks out.
They
They fucking made life.
Look at
that.
But yeah, look at Jim Lee. Jim Lee actually knows what he's doing. I mean, even as a kid growing up, not being really much of an artist type person, I look at Jim Lee's art and I automatically is like, it looks right, I mean, Jim Lee has always been my like go to when it comes to like who's a good comic book artist,
Nah,
90s best comic covers.
there we go. Yep. This
Hmm.
one. Let's see,
Okay.
and let's see what we get here.
Okay.
You guys remember
Yes.
that right there?
Yep, I do. Because that was a holofoil cover too, or has the emboss.
What's
It's
that? How
embossed
are
with
you?
with actual silver like print on there. I believe I remember that one.
Correct, sir. And we were talking about this artist earlier, Joff. I believe that could be a Ron Lim.
Yeah,
Yep, that's a Ron Lim right there.
He did get big on Silver Surfer, I believe. And did he do Green Lantern?
Yes.
I don't remember, but he definitely blew up on Silver
all
Surfer.
the Marvel space stuff, like Adam Warlock,
Right.
all that shit.
Yeah, those all Ron Lim. I have those Spider-Man covers, those holographic covers. Oh, actually, I have all three of those books right there.
I believe that's where Wolverine gets his metal torn out of his body. Is that the
Yeah.
one?
That's Wolverine.
Yeah.
No. That's the after. That's the aftermath.
Oh, that's an aftermath, right?
Because he
there.
gets
Yeah, but
he,
you
he
did.
gets it. He gets it ripped out in
But-
X-Men 25, and then
But you-
Wolverine 75. I think is it 75?
But you have a
72?
copy of Bloodstrike right here.
I do have a copy of that Bloodstrike. Yeah, I do.
Tell us about
Dude,
Bloodstrike. Rub
I
the
honestly-
blood is what it says here too.
Yeah. Because I think it was like, I think the blood disappears.
Hey,
as you rub
that
it. I think it was
cable-looking
like
character. You know what his name is?
Bloodstone.
What's up?
Cabot.
Was it
Cabot?
Cabot?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, wow.
here's where I'm getting
Really
confused.
bad.
It's been such a long time. That character has a brother in another book, right?
I think so.
And I believe one of them is dead, and they resurrected him as like a zombie type character or some shit like that.
What about this one? You guys remember this?
Is that Silvestri?
I believe so. Yeah.
That one actually had holes in the middle, right?
Yeah. It was a die cut, right? As if he slashed
Yeah.
through them.
As if he cut it, yeah. Okay, so I will say this: the Executioner song covers.
Did you like those?
Fatal Attractions cover. Sorry, the Fatal Attraction covers. Like if you scroll back up,
Oh,
like to
you
that
remember that? The
Wolverine
glow
that
in
we
the dark.
looked at earlier.
Mark
The glow in the dark
Teixeira was
character,
another.
Oh, Mark Teixeira was really good. I really liked his Sabretooth art. Like he did I think he did a Sabretooth 4-issue thing.
Which one did you want me to look at here?
It was the Fatal Attractions cover. Like if we go back to that one with like Blood Strike and whatever. Yeah. The Fatal that one right there, the Fatal Attractions crossover.
Yeah, this Wolverine.
Like I will say this. The random holographic like card just staple like just glued onto that cover.
Yeah.
Super annoying. Like it was so hard to like I read my comics, right? I know people are like, oh my god, these are gonna be like worth money and you just destroyed it. It's like, you know what, fuck it. I could only afford one copy as a kid.
I forgot. Like, yeah, because who was doing the X-Men back then?
Jesus
It's either
Christ.
Andy or Adam, one of the Kubert brothers.
Yeah, one of the Cuberts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Their shit grew on me. It's like,
They got really good after a while.
Weirdly
They got
enough,
really
I think I liked Andy Kubert's art more than I liked Adam Kubert's art back then.
yeah. Andy is the more kind of cartoony. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
He ended up doing Wolverine though, correct?
Yeah. He was the one doing Wolverine. Adam was doing X-Men.
Mhm. Okay, that Jim Lee Wildcats one, the holographic one.
Yeah.
Sam Keith.
Sam Keith.
I have that one.
That one.
Yeah,
that one right
that's
there.
number 2.
I have,
This one
I
right
have
here?
this one too.
Yeah,
I
that's
have that one
Wildcats
as
number
well.
2.
I believe
will
this is
say,
hard to find. This is a hard to find
super
book right here.
super gimmicky, but really pretty because it's all holographic foil and shit like that. Like it's like looking back on it, it was ridiculous to buy a book like this. But I mean, that was a regular cover, right? It's not a variant cover. I didn't pay any extra for it. I paid cover price for it. It's
Hard to
stupid,
find, though.
but it really is a pretty looking book just because
And-
it's really shiny.
And the back half of that is the first appearance of Wetworks.
That's
your
why
most
it's also
hated
an expensive
your most
book.
hated book, your most hated
Oh.
artist.
What
Okay,
about
I
this
have this
also?
book as well.
Yep.
It's all
I
chromiumed
had this
out,
book
right?
too. Yep.
So
I don't
Shout
have
out to
that.
Barry Windsor Smith too. One of my
Barry
favorites.
Windsor
of
Smith
all
is
time.
classic. He's a classic
Fucking
artist.
badass, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but this one is super dumb because that artwork in the middle is actually like a card glued onto
Yes.
the cover, and because it's shiny, it's literally shiny. It's a chromium cover, right? So back in the 90s, yeah, people who are like watching this along with us right now, they used to put foil on everything back in the day. Any number ones, they would put foil on there, and I would buy it because it's pretty and it's like, oh, it's gonna be worth something because it's cool.
Mhm.
Nope. I mean, it might be worth something now, obviously, but I mean, buying it because it's shiny is probably one of the dumbest things that we did as comic book collectors back then. And now it's a Vin Diesel movie, so yay.
Oh shit, Kelly Jones.
Is this Kelly Jones or Klaus
Yeah.
Janson?
That's badass. Huh?
Doug Munch and
Norm Brayfogle.
Breyfogle.
Mhm.
Breyfogle. Okay, yeah.
Some things are just so maybe only iconic. This is a book that I was telling you guys about, where Jim Lee, or no, I'm sorry, McFarlane. I'm sorry, McFarlane did
Okay.
did this cover. I mean, that's
Yeah,
just
because
such a
I
badass
would
cover.
have. Yeah, because I could have sworn Jim Lee didn't do any DC stuff until later.
Yeah.
Because he started with like Punisher, right? Like his first
Mm-hmm.
appearance. His Jim Lee's first appearance was Punisher War Journal, I believe. How many people have we lost on this particular episode?
It's one of my favorites too, right here. I know we probably don't have. They're like, I'm not gonna.
Because we are going into the weeds on comic stuff.
One of my favorite books right here, though. This is Alan Davis, Batman Year 2 Part 1. It's awesome. It's such an iconic book for me. Just kind of. Oh, I know you guys remember this. Remember this?
Okay, yes, but I mean, I never bought that book.
Yeah,
I had no idea what it even was. I looked at that and I was like, "What is this?" And I just never bought it.
I didn't buy that one.
But I guess you could choose a colored gem, correct?
Yeah.
We had multiple colors
Mhm.
that was going on with that. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any other iconic things that we might.
I mean, X-Men #1. Like, go back up. Go back up. Go back up to that trifold cover of X-Men #1, not that one. All right, did we pass it already?
No, it was that. You gotta go down.
This is one of my
Oh,
favorites too.
oh,
I have this one right here too. X-Men 212 with Barry Windsor Smith too.
Mhm.
You're talking about these ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, but there's actually the one that came
Or the first one, the
collected together.
Yeah.
So that came as individual issues of separate. Oh, right here, that one, that gray one on the side on the left.
The deluxe one.
That one. That's the deluxe one. I have that one and one of the other ones as well. This was awesome piece of artwork when I first saw it, just because it's like this triple, quadruple gatefold cover, Jim Lee artwork. It's X-Men #1, so it's probably not worth anything because they printed. It's the highest selling X-Men book of all time, or some shit
It's
like that.
8 million plus or something.
I thought it
I
was like
think about.
11. I thought it was 11 million
I
or
think it
something.
beat the
But yeah.
record. I think this nobody's ever beaten that record.
Yeah, like X-Men #1 was like the highest comic book ever sold, right? Like everybody bought that one. So I have like two of these books, and they're probably worthless now. But yeah, dude, this is like just Jim Lee
Iconic.
being Jim Lee. Yeah.
And he was also
But
really good at doing the group poster type stuff. Like he was, that's
mhm.
the first cover here was X-Men 275, I believe. That's when they went back to wearing the yellow and blue suits. They were in space again.
Mm.
Probably one of my favorite books. Also, we were talking about Executioner Song earlier. Another.
I never finished that. I never finished Executioner's Song. Like I got up to like I part like 10 or some crap like that. But you had to buy so many books, and it was so long. I
Yeah,
have
I
no
finished
idea
that.
how it
I can't
ends.
remember.
Yeah, I have no
One of the
idea how
most
it ends.
iconic covers here.
Todd McFarlane. Yeah. And there was like multiples of that one too, like hella variants of that one, I think.
Yep.
That or they copy or they redid it like a million times because it's so iconic and so classic.
Well, he did it for Spawn. That same
Like for
pose.
example, here's
Yeah, the same
somebody.
pose.
This
Yeah.
is John Romita Jr. This is 1986, I believe.
Hmm.
It's 1986, right?
I feel like it's gotten worse over.
And this is
Like,
him
No, he got better.
yeah.
in the
Do you think he
90s.
got better? Do you think he got better? Like
I think he.
I
I
feel
like his
he-
80s stuff, but I think he did. I think he got better. I'm with Joffrey on this one.
I feel like he got overcomplicated later on. Like way more blocky, way more lines everywhere in the 90s.
Yeah,
Like
he
like
got
How
better.
yeah,
different
like
is
look at all the
Wolverine's.
extra lines and stuff. Like almost kind of like a Rob Liefeld in
Oh
terms of
man,
like
one of my most favorite. I believe this book is worth a lot too. Right here, Cosmic Spider-Man versus Hulk. He punched him to the moon. McFarlane. Man, such a badass book. I remember even back in the day, this was a hard book to get just because it was so
mm,
expensive.
mhm.
You guys ever see this book? Pick it up. You
Yeah,
can get
yeah,
it on a good price.
yeah. Oh, Death of Superman. I have that book.
Yeah, I have that.
Are we talking about this one right here?
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
band and everything.
Iconic,
Yeah,
right? Iconic cover.
I have the polybagged. I have the polybagged one.
Superman 75.
Yeah, comes with all
Yeah, the
kinds of
black
stuff
the
inside.
black bag, the white bag.
Yeah, yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's silly now, but yeah, back then it was like to open or not open, and it's like, eh, now I don't even care.
Certain guys are just like, oh man, I know this is a Jim Lee one. I really like this one right here.
Mhm.
This is when Magneto was living in the Savage Land, I
Savage
believe.
Lands. Yeah,
And his girlfriend at the time, I think, was Rogue here, correct? They kind of had their little fling
they
going
had
on
a
here.
thing. Yeah, I don't think it was girlfriend necessarily, but it was a thing.
He was hitting that. I don't know how, but
Well, because his magnetic field can make him touch her, but not lose his powers.
hey, there we
Remember,
go.
that's how come him and Rogue in Age of Apocalypse are together and able to have a child.
This is Romita again right here. I actually did a Kumu cover like this before, using Elite X people. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel like John Romita's stuff looks better here than like 20 years later. The stuff that he did 20 years later.
what about this right here? You guys like Dan Jurgens?
Fuck no, dude.
No.
Okay,
He's one of those.
okay, so he's one of those generic. He's
Dan
one of
Yeah,
he was
Jurgens?
like one of those generic guys.
He's
Yeah,
one of those ham and eggers, dog.
yeah. Like I feel like his
He's a
art is very
Hammond
generic.
Egger? Oh man.
Right. But he also worked on like a ton of iconic storylines.
Yeah.
like he actually, he was the guy that drew Death of Superman, I think, as well, and he also
Yeah.
did like 0 Hour.
Mhm.
So one of the many like continuity resetting, storylines. So, and I think he was in charge of like a lot of like Disney stuff at that, not Disney, DC stuff at that point, right? When he was
Oh
working,
wow,
like I
really?
think, well, that's what it felt like. Oh, I think I have
Joe
that book too.
Joe Quesada right
Another
here.
another chromium cover.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that's right. Valiant did a lot of chromium stuff back then too.
Hmm.
Joe Quesada. I really like Joe Quesada art.
Oh, he's great.
But yeah, the chromium stuff back then still kind of ridiculous.
Oh man, who's this right here?
Forceworks. I did not read that one.
It just looked
Was
like
that
bad
like a?
art, so I just wanted to see who it was. I really can't tell who that is.
I can't tell who it is, but I've never read this book. It looks like one of the extreme '90s stuff.
Oh, I had this issue right here. It was Eric Larson, Venom versus
Mhm.
Spider-Man. This is right before they jumped. I believe
Oh, you know,
he took over
you,
Amazing Spider-Man while what's his name was doing Spider-Man, McFarlane.
mm, I want to say Alex Ross in the '90s for sure. Like I'm looking at that Astro
Oh,
City and that Spider-Man. That kind of
mm,
I don't know if that Spider-Man is Alex Ross, but Alex Ross stuff like
Yeah,
his
no,
run on
badass.
I'm
his
not
run
a
on
fan.
Marvels. His run
I'm
on
not a fan.
Marvels, I really liked it. You
What'd you
don't
say,
like his
Joff?
stuff?
I'm not a fan of Alex Ross.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was just because it was so different from everything else that I really liked it. It was almost refreshing for me to see
Yeah,
painted
I
art in
liked it also.
comics. That's why I really liked it.
Oh, an iconic
Yeah.
uh, cover right here, also from the McFarlane run on Hulk. Fucking badass. Right here. I've
It
seen him
was
do this a bunch of times too. He's recreated this cover a couple times also.
back then we didn't know his claws were bone.
No, we did not. We had to. It was a big shock, right? Like, oh shit, really? Like,
Yeah. Well, that's why if you
I
look
also
back
didn't know
on
how to feel that too when I first found out.
yeah, but that's why when you look
We
back
were
on
talking
some of
about
that
George
art.
Perez earlier, right?
Mhm. But yeah, Wolverine Blades is kind of weird if you think about it now, because they were bone. So
Hmm. I don't think that's this is. Is this Jim Lee? Oh, okay. I thought it was a ripoff. Remember Art Tibbert, right? Remember that
mm,
guy?
yeah, I remember that guy. I don't really remember his stuff though.
Back
There's
then,
some
I
really
didn't
cool.
really appreciate Eric Larson, but it's actually pretty badass. This is a Mark Bagley right here, Joff. Is this one of your guys right here? Mark Bagley.
Yeah.
Look, he's solid, right? I mean, that guy did like a huge run on Ultimate Spider-Man when that first came out. Like that dude like defined Ultimate Spider-Man, and Spider-Man in general during his runs. So I have to give props to him, even
Mhm.
if his art is kind of generic, I guess, filler. I feel bad saying that. I mean, he's fine as an artist.
We talked about Art Adams earlier. Used to love
Yeah.
reading the classic X-Men. You always got a new story at the end of the old issue. They would start off with an old issue and give you a new issue, like never the same artist, like maybe 8 page story at the end of it, and you always got a pin up on the back of the classic X-Men cover also. What about Jim Byrne? Were you guys big Jim Byrne fan? Oh, you can't see it on here, but prominent guy for Superman. Also did a lot of Fantastic Four stuff too.
I mean, not really. It's the old style, but he's in one of the best ones that kind of did the classic, you know,
Mm.
Silver Age, Golden Age style or whatever.
Yeah.
Just think about that right there. Got Azrael, and we got two jabronis on the side of him.
I don't even know who those
Captain
two guys
Boomerang.
are.
Is that Captain? Oh, that is Captain Boomerang, right?
That
The
Deadshot and Captain
and he
Boomerang.
has a hat on backwards. Yeah.
Oh, the hat. Yeah, that's the kid, right? Captain Boomerang's kid.
Oh man. Well, this was another famous cover right here, right? Issue number 1, the restart. Danny Ketch's Ghost Rider. I
Yeah,
believe.
I never liked that shield thing on his bike.
Very
I think that,
90s
that
though.
actually makes it look ridiculous.
Oh wow. Superman for
Oh,
all seasons. Right?
you know what?
The
But
great
that's not.
Tim
Is that a
Sale.
'90s? Was that a '90s
No, I
series?
don't think so. I just saw that
I don't
cover. I
think
was
so.
like, hey, I
I thought
remember that.
You know what? I'm looking at some of the art. Actually, you know what artist I just remembered? Dave McKean. Like, um,
Oh yes.
like his Sandman covers are just so freaking weird. Like he does a lot of like he doesn't really draw, right? I mean, he draws, but he also does like he does like I don't know collages and stuff like that. It's so freaking unique and so freaking interesting. Like if you ever just look at Dave McKean like covers and stuff.
Trying to see if there was
Wildcats.
any other iconic covers here. Sleepwalker. Were you guys
No.
very very
No.
90s right there? Right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, there was you guys ever read this version of Deathlock?
Mm-mm.
It's my favorite Deathlock book. If you guys ever come across it, you could find this in the dollar bin and stuff, but this is a version of Deathlock that I grew up on. I think it came out I would say maybe 90, maybe 91.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, it's such a great such a great origin story. It goes through his origin, how he, I believe Michael Collins, this gentleman right here, became Deathlock, and you know you didn't see a lot of black superheroes back then too.
Mm-mm.
You
Yeah.
know, so to like, oh dude, he was a black dude. You know what I mean? Didn't never knew that. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh dude, that's kind of badass. So
Deathcock.
I've always loved this.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about Spider-Man earlier, 2099.
Yeah.
That's a you said that's a Rick Leonardi cover, and I believe this is a gimmick cover too, right? That was all red foil.
There's foil on it, yeah, from what I remember. Yeah, I can't remember if I actually have that one, but I feel like I have it, but I don't remember. Yeah,
Just going through
I
these
can't really
comic
tell you.
covers.
Yeah, I can't really tell you what my most expensive comic is.
Look at that right there. Nice little homage
Yeah, like a
to
Todd McFarlane
McFarlane right
homage.
there.
Yeah.
Look at that McFarlane cover. That's crazy, right? Assassination plot. I do remember this storyline. It had Paladin, I believe, in it too. Silver Sable.
Hmm.
Look at that. Spider-Man crying, holding a ripped flag with the White House burning down and Red Skull on top. That's kind of a crazy cover right there.
I
Yeah,
hate
that looks
when
pretty
they
wild.
fucking draw Spider-Man fucking thick.
Super buff. Yeah. It doesn't look right.
Yeah,
That's the
Spider-Man
whole
ain't
point of
thick.
Venom.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
that's the
never
whole
like
point of Venom.
Like a thick Spidey like
you never
that.
liked the McFarlane style,
No, not the style, but
Jeff. You never liked the McFarlane style.
when they draw Spider-Man kind of thick.
Oh, like not defined.
No, look at him. He's like a bodybuilder, thick. Like,
Yeah, because he's supposed to be kind of scrawny, right?
yeah,
But when you draw him like a buff bodybuilder type, it doesn't look right. I
it's
mean, that's
more like
basically
a
Venom.
Mm.
it's more like a gymnast or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, another famous Punisher book right here too, which one of those throwaway Punisher issues, but you know, where it's only just like something that just happens in a day, you know, and you're pretty much done in one issue. This was another famous cover right here.
That's Jim Lee right
Yeah.
there.
People,
Yeah.
yep,
That one right
fucking
there is
nerded out over this.
pretty classic.
Pretty badass. You get a World War II story, I believe, out of and they actually did this in a there's an episode of X-Men animated series that's based. They do their version minus Black Widow though, but it's Cap and Wolverine fighting in World War II, and he kind of wears the same outfits that he does in the comic book. I was happy that they actually did an episode of this. Oh, this was a classic Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine cover
Oh,
too. I remember this
look at
as a
that
kid.
Bane, that Batman cover. Look at that Batman
Oh
Bane
man,
cover.
I think that's
That's
Kelly
iconic.
Jones.
That is iconic. Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right.
you said Kelly Jones, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it says
Yeah,
Jones in the
look at
I
Batman's
think it
It
says
back
Jones
right
right
depends.
there.
there.
Like, let me see,
Crazy.
because Kelly Jones does the fucking super long Batman ears.
Hmm.
No, I think it says. Doesn't it say Jones on this on the bottom right there
Oh yeah, yeah, Jones.
on the corner? Doesn't it?
Or
Yeah, right.
I can't
right
really
here.
see it. No, in the square. In the square.
Oh,
no, I
sorry.
don't think so.
Look how bad this art is right here. I can't even tell who this is right here. Ugliest in an updated top 10 of ugly covers. Yeah, this is very 90s right here though.
Yeah.
During the 30th anniversary.
I mean,
of,
I don't know if I could
Marvel.
say it's. I can't really say it's ugly. It's just of that time. I feel like.
Hmm. Oh, I was gonna say here's the C. McFarlane's version of Cap America right there.
Okay, this cover looks kind of weird to me.
Yeah. Look at his
Like,
arms.
I'm not really
right?
like I'm not really sure what's going on with this one. Yeah. Well, look at Cap in general. It just looks kind of weird. Unless this whole cover is like squashed a little bit, like the proportionality of the resolution's a little bit off. It seems like doesn't look right. Anyways,
It's always good to look at people's versions of like, hey, that's. I believe this one is not a Jim. Is this a Jim Lee cover? Oh, it is a Jim Lee cover.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes Jim Lee though.
that's-
Okay.
Well, then, yeah. Sometimes his covers, aren't like super iconic, right? Like if you look at like X-Men #3, it's like it's a fine cover. It's just it doesn't
Oh man,
like
that's
wow
like
you, I guess.
that's like Jim Lee has to like. Oh man, I gotta get a cover done.
Yeah, I need to do something.
Yeah,
Let me dial it in.
it's like he's late. Like
I'm on a deadline.
yeah,
uh,
or that's one of those Scott Williams fucking finish it special. Like I'll do the rough pencils.
yeah, the layout.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Is
What
that
about
Jay
this
Lee?
right here? Savage Namor.
It
That's a
kinda looks
crazy.
like a
That's kind of
That looks like a
crazy right
Jay-Z.
there.
Like what's going on with his crotch? Like what are those lines right there?
Joff's boy right here, Rob Layfield,
Yeah.
with a. That's kind of crazy. Look at that head just kind of flying between his legs. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a leg or a head, but right between his legs.
Damn.
Rob Liefeld, man. That guy.
Oh, another iconic cover right here, right?
That's Will's right there.
This was such
Oh,
a badass like cover too. Too
I
bad it's
do
kind of
have like
blurry on my end.
yeah, it's a little blurry here too. I have like Bishop's first appearance.
Mm,
I don't know if that's worth anything. I mean, it's worth
that's
something because it's Bishop,
pretty
right?
trilogy.
But it's not. But it's not like Bishop is not.
Another iconic issue right here.
It's very striking with that green and purple.
Yep.
I mean, those are his colors.
Look at this. That's really bad, huh?
I don't
Rob
think
Layfield's
that's.
tripping here, dude.
What the hell is Cable wearing, dog?
Tripping.
I think this is more of a joke, right? This is a joke cover. I mean, look at the website title for that article.
We're talking earlier about John Romita. This is some Romita right
Yeah,
here.
it's pretty cool. I like his newer stuff.
Okay,
I
that one
loved
does
his
look pretty
Thor
good.
run. His
That one
Thor
looks pretty
run
good.
was amazing,
His
dude.
newer stuff.
I think that's the first time I ever read Thor was when Romita was doing Thor. The first, probably, yeah, my first time ever reading Thor.
My first time
was
reading
right.
Romita was X-Men, like an uncanny. He did an Uncanny X-Men run for a bit.
The old stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've loved the guy ever since the '80s. So it's kind of cool to see his. We talk about if he got good or better or whatever. Yeah, I would like to think he did.
so
Some
these are all
guys,
considered bad covers.
I don't know why. I mean, we were
Might just
talking
be
about
the
earlier
envelope.
about the multiple Spider-Man covers,
Yeah.
but you had the regular
Yeah.
cover, you had the gold cover, and then you had the platinum cover.
Damn.
Yeah,
The platinum cover, I remember, was the more expensive one.
yeah. Why the '90s were
But
terrible for comics? Yeah, it's kind of like NFTs right now. Everyone thinks that things are worth something, so they're speculating. And then you bought all
remember
these
this where it
fucking
was a
Rob Liefeld books,
sideways.
and they're not worth anything.
X-Force joined Spider-Man. See, like, I bet you he loved drawing Cannonball because he didn't have to fucking draw the lower half of his body.
Todd
This is
McFarlane?
actually this was actually a McFarlane book right here.
Or are you just saying Rob Liefeld in general? It's like,
Rob
my favorite
Liefeld.
character is my favorite character is good. I'm gonna create a character called Cannonball and then never have to draw his legs ever.
Damn, look at Cannonball right there. It's fucked up.
Right there.
Yeah. How did we like this back then? I don't understand.
Or is that
That
Shaq?
is
I don't know.
that is literally proof that we had underdeveloped brains as a child back then. If we could look at look at GW
GW
Bridge.
Bridge. One of the
Right.
worst characters too. Like
Such a boring character, straight up. But yeah, the fact that we
GW
that we
Bridge.
actually thought Rob Liefeld was good literally speaks to us having like brain damage as a child. Swear to God.
Nah, because it was some flashy shit with all the fucking cross hatching and all that bullshit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but Jim Lee also had a bunch of cross. Jim Lee Scott Williams had a bunch. I mean, their bread and butter was the cross hatching.
Yeah,
But yeah, look at this art compared to like Rob
but it's
Liefeld art.
not like. But Rob got
It's really
the
bad though,
crazy
huh?
poses, and his fucking mouth's always open and or grinning, his fucking bunch of teeth,
Yeah.
all that
Hmm.
shit. When you don't know nothing, you got gravitate towards the more flashy shit.
Wow, who's art? Who is this? A oh, that's Fabian, or is it Scroce?
Fa- Fabian's the writer, right? Like, what does that
Yeah,
say?
it's
I can't.
Scroce,
I
right?
can't see. Steve Scrouchy. Like I
Yeah.
actually don't mind his art. Like he did a lot of cable
Yeah.
stuff. I think
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty
Well,
good.
he did fucking, and then he just did the storyboard for the Matrix, and fucking, he's like,
Yeah,
I'm out.
you're right.
Think about
Yeah,
this, right?
yeah. I don't even know what this is. What is this?
Billy Ray
Look at
Cyrus.
look at
Marvel Music
look, look at his
presents
chest. Look at his chest.
Dan Barry.
Is that a
Not
Black
like Rob
Knight?
Liefeld.
Billy Ray Cyrus and the Black Knight? Is that?
Who is
What about
Dan
Eternal
Barry?
Warrior?
I honestly. Oh, this is new though. I think because you see that's the
Oh, is
the,
this
the new
brand new?
Valiant.
Really?
Well, it's not the old. I mean, it's not old Valiant. I don't think.
Oh
Wetworks,
man, look at that.
Sam Keith.
The Sam Keith Wolverine.
classic.
But was he really? I don't know if I really like him now. I mean, I liked him back then, but
I'm
it's like
not
when
a
I
I'm
look
not a
back at some of his stuff
I'm not a Sam Keith.
pre, it's like
Sam Keith likes to
I
just
don't know
draw
if I
big
like it.
people. He's kind of like he did the Max, right? Was that
Yeah.
Sam Keith?
Yeah,
And
the Max. Yeah.
Lobo? Did he do Lobo? Or
Not really. He probably like have a couple of logo issues, but he's not. He's
yeah,
not.
he draws big.
Oh,
He
Sam
draws
Keith
people
did do
big.
Lobo, yeah, but he did,
He draws
but
people
he,
big.
it wasn't bad. Oh man, that Lobo that was only 99 cents, I believe, right? That's a
Simon Bisley
iconic.
did Lobo.
Oh, Simon Bisley. I'm sorry,
Simon
not
Bisley,
Sam Keith.
but
I'm
Simon
sorry. I'm
Bisley did.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he did
I mean, he
Lobo,
was
and
also
he's a
what he was.
badass artist too.
He is badass. Like he did a lot of painted stuff too. I think.
Yeah, like, he's those fucking heavy metal uh
Hmm.
British dudes that did,
What up,
you
Grub?
know,
How are you?
Yeah.
that fucking
Welcome
came
back. We're
over.
just talking iconic covers here. Hey, I believe on
Iconically good
Netflix
and
we're getting
iconically bad.
a new Usagi Yojimbo. I believe
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
brand new series is coming to Netflix on that, so I can't wait actually check that out. Oh man, Superman Red, Superman Blue.
Yeah. Trash.
What a bad time. What a bad time.
Trash.
Like what? We're gonna split them up?
Yeah. I
It's like how do you explain that, right?
I I I don't know. It makes zero sense. Oh my god, Evil Ernie. That
Yep.
time,
Oh,
Evil Ernie, Lady
Lady
Death,
Death. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Dawn,
Va-
I think was another one
Vampirella,
around
I
that
think, was
time.
part of that series too, right?
Vampirella, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, that was the other thing I liked about the Marvel
What?
series was they had the acetate cover that was clear, and when
Yes.
you like
Yeah.
flipped it open, you can actually see the Alex Ross art unhindered.
Hmm.
I thought that was pretty badass.
Another iconic X-Men cover right there. I
Yeah.
believe they're fighting in the Danger Room. I'm just trying to. Oh, there's that bloody. Iconic though that bloody Superman icon became
Hmm.
iconic, right?
Death of Superman. Yeah.
They gave us a new symbol. I remember the
Hmm.
first time I seen that on a shirt. I just loved it. I'm like, oh, dude, that looks badass.
It does look pretty dope.
Man, another iconic X-Men cover right here. I just love this cover. It's when the Brood took over on Wolverine. I
That's
used to be very
Sylvester,
scared of
right?
the Brood as a kid.
Looks like
Yeah,
Sylvester. Yeah.
and this was the first time that that Spider-Man Wolverine story. You got to see Wendigo. He did an okay Wolverine. I think by this time, like, I was like, dang, he's McFarlane's okay. Like, it's all right. He's, you know, his Wolverine I think could have been better. But who am I? Speaking of Lobo, we talked about Lobo earlier. Right?
Oh, Chris Bacalo. I really like his art.
Oh
Yep.
man, legendary.
Makes me want to break out some of my old comics just to look through them again.
Yeah, just to look at stuff, right?
Yeah,
All right.
just
Well,
to kind of catalog and see what I have. I also kind of forgot.
I think we might have lost Jason. Probably knocked out. What's up? What's up, Jay? I don't know if you're still here. Sorry, we got to nerd out with you guys real quick. We did hit our
Real
2 hour
quick,
mark though.
2 hours.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
hours.
I was gonna say, was there anything else though that you guys wanted to talk about? You know,
Mm,
any last things in pop culture that we might have missed out on?
Would you trade?
uh,
Would you trade a fucking dog for some Yeezy slides?
for Yeezy slides
See, why
in a
why did we
heartbeat,
start?
dude.
We should have started off with this. Should we? Would you trade a dog?
Oh man,
And
that
how
A
much
was
are those slides
dachshund. A
valued at?
dachshund.
How much are those slides valued at, Joe?
they're like
What's the
I don't know,
retail?
they're like 300, right?
Okay, let's say.
MSRP. MSRP probably
Oh
like
man,
250, maybe something like that. But obviously
but
in the black market or the after
Like Stock X or
market
whatever
or
yeah,
whatever.
how much
Yeah.
you think it'd be
resell.
going on StockX then for?
We check. Hold on.
All right,
No
let's get to
idea.
the bottom of this.
Oh, I don't know if you guys saw this. Susan Sarandon's going to be Victoria Cord in the Blue Beetle movie, not Sharon Stone. So Sharon Stone, I guess, was in
Mm,
talks, but I guess they said fuck it and went with Susan Sarandon. So she's going to play a bad guy.
mm.
Apparently, it is a bad guy. She's gonna be Victoria Cord, and yeah, Susan
Holy
Sarandon.
shit.
I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, right about 300. It's like 290, something like that.
Okay, so 300
So for slides, dude, for
$300,
slides.
and how much you think that dog's worth?
A, a dachshund? I don't know,
Yeah,
Like
dude.
a dachshund? Yeah, I don't know how much
I
they're
don't
worth,
know
but
how long. It's probably like the dachshund puppy. It's at least 500. It's a
probably
purebred. If
right.
it's a
Yeah,
purebred,
I think that sounds about right.
at least 300. I mean,
Hmm.
for at least 500.
so he traded in his Yeezys for a dog, basically, or he
Yeah,
traded his dog for Yeezys.
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, he
yeah.
traded his dog for Yeezys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh
because I guess he
shit!
had two puppies or whatever. So I'm like, I got two puppies, bro.
yeah, yeah. And the guy
Trade.
was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll take it."
So Jay, a Datsun. Wait, did I say that right? I said a
Doc,
Datsun, like
Doc,
a car,
Doc, not the car. Dachshund, the dog.
which is probably at least $500, Jason. He gave that away and he traded them off for some $300 Yeezys. Who got the better?
Yeezy slides.
Oh,
Who
Slides.
won here?
the guy who got the Dachshund 100%.
One
Slides
hundred
too.
percent.
100%. He won.
Yeah.
But you got to take care of the dog now, and it got more
Yeah,
expensive.
but he can
Oh,
breed it. He can
he
breed it
wanted
and
the
make more
dog.
money.
Yeah.
So in a sense,
Mm.
he won. He won. He can't do shit
Well,
with
even if he
Yeezys.
doesn't breed it, yeah, even if he doesn't breed it, you have a companion.
Yeah.
You have a delightful companion that you can keep around for a while. You know, and build memories off of. What the hell memories are you building when it comes to fucking Yeezys? Ugly ass fucking slides.
Yeezy
Wannabe
slide.
Crocs, dude. Wannabe Crocs.
Ridiculous. Oh, I don't know if I saw this piece of news. Warner Brothers Discovery,
Oh
they're
yeah.
thinking about overhauling DC Entertainment in general
I think they've already started. I think they've already
with
started
Batman.
because
I feel
not
like
because
it, and
they already fired Patty Jenkins. So
oh, from Wonder Woman.
yeah, so they've started.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I just thought it was funny because it's kind of like oh, look at that, DC wiping their continuity again.
Mm.
I mean that's kind of what they do, right? I mean that's
That's crazy
literally
though.
what
How
they do.
Discovery actually—they're gonna call it Warner Discovery, right?
Yeah, yeah. After they merged, after they separated
Crazy.
from AT&T, I think, and they merged or something. Yeah. Either
Yeah,
way.
with Discovery. Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting. And I commented on it with some other people. It's like just like the books, man. They're just gonna wipe the continuity, start over. Hopefully they do it right. But honestly, at this point in time, I feel like it's kind of just too little, too late. Honestly, you know.
Marvel definitely won this war. Not like it was a competition in the first place. I'm just saying. Like, ugh.
Well, it should not have been a competition. They really should have like spent some time, but they didn't. And I feel like they just felt like they were playing catch up the entire time, and yeah, it was just not good.
They have $1 billion movie under Aquaman. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
I don't care how amazing Jason Momoa is. Like, is he eye candy? Yes. Does he bring in people to watch his movies? Yes. But if your Superman movie and your Batman movie is underperforming compared to Aquaman, the guy whose power is talking to fish, you
Sounds funny.
need to reevaluate what's going on.
And superhuman strength.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
And can't be harmed by any weapon unless it's made from Atlantis. And he could
Okay.
talk to krakens.
Well, any sea animal. Any sea
Yeah.
animal.
Like they can't
That's
even
it.
give us a. They can't even tell us a. They can't even give us a good Superman story. Can't even give us a decent. Well, they gave us a decent Batman, according to Joff. He really liked it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still waiting to see it. Hopefully, I'll be able to see it in couple of days, right?
Yeah,
That
on the
should be
18th.
coming on soon,
Yeah.
right?
18th. April 18th.
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
I'm super excited. I'm super excited to watch it.
All right, let's watch it, and then we'll come back and talk about it next week.
Tax day.
Yeah.
That's the same day as tax day. Don't forget to do your taxes.
That's right. Monday. If you haven't done it
Mm,
already.
there you go. Um, anything else before we get up out of here, guys, that you guys wanted to touch on?
No, I'm good.
Joff, anything for you?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Any recos? Does anybody have any recos?
Fuck Recos. Huh.
Moon Knight. Moon Knight. Go watch Moon
Moon
Knight.
Knight? Yep.
It's honestly pretty good so far.
Oh, what Reco? No, no, not this week. I didn't really watch anything this week. Or, yeah, I
Mm.
didn't do nothing. It was just, I just went in a freaking rabbit hole. This dude just slicing shoes in half and seeing what they're made of.
Oh, I saw that where you sent the episode of the Yeezy. I
Yeah.
watched it also too. I was just like, oh wow, that ripped apart really easy. I was just like, wow, dude.
Garbage.
Yeah, some stuff. Shit. Yeah, he's trying to figure out like, oh yeah, what's the if it's really soft or I don't know. I never wore Yeezy, so I don't know how soft they are. I'm guessing it's soft. So
But I don't have Yeezys, but I do have shoes that has
the boost,
the boost. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So it's pretty
yeah.
fucking
I don't,
comfortable.
Ultra Boost.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have boost.
Yeah, they're comfortable. They're very comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
I'm not a
basically just paying for status if you're
yeah,
copping
I'm
a pair
not
of Yeezys.
I'm not a sneakerhead, so I couldn't get in that game. I was like, oh shit, nah.
Mhm.
And I think we've
Like,
gotten
I
to that
enjoyed
age
look.
of stop
Yeah,
caring about shoes, right? What up,
yeah.
Christian?
I, I never got into it, but I do enjoy looking at shoes in
Yeah, yeah.
general. I do enjoy it, and it's like, oh, this looks really nice. But paying $500 for a pair of like Air Force Ones or something is like
Oh
I
man,
I
that
can't get into
dude,
that.
that dude. I don't know what he did, dog.
Or where his girlfriend like marked up all his shoes.
Yeah, I don't even
Yeah.
like any of the shoes that got vandalized.
How much
But
did she destroy?
All of it.
How many pairs are we talking about?
I have no
I,
idea, but that's a lot. So he must have done something stupid, like
he had
like
Well,
like
he
legit,
cheated on. He cheated on her.
like legit.
For you to get your shoes destroyed like that, dude, she's probably beating on her too. Sadly, I don't know. It had to have been some
Maybe.
kind of abuse. I'm just saying, for your girl to get that mad to destroy all your shoes to write, to cut up,
Yeah.
or I don't know what she did, if she was cutting up or whatever. I'm just
no,
saying.
he just fucking wrote like he wrote on it, fucking colored some of the panels or whatever. Like just
I like how in the comments though someone was like, "Oh, these are low key kind of fire. They actually look pretty
Yeah.
good."
Fire customs. Yeah. Fire
Yeah,
customs shoes. Yeah.
it looked like high
Fire
end
custom
couture, right? Like
shoes.
it looked high end. Like, oh shit, how
Yeah.
did those cactus jacks become better? Right?
except like she wrote like you're a bitch or fucking all that
Yeah.
shit, your bitch ass, all that like fucking. That's funny.
Fire. So
That's
fire.
that's a way. I'm like, what would you do if that was you, dog?
Hmm.
I can't really say because I don't have a collection like that. So
Mm-mm.
Me
Yeah. What
neither.
if they marked up your comics?
Ugh.
I don't know because yeah, I never. The only time that I should have gotten mad, but I never really did, was my cousin borrowed fucking my the original breads, like the 11s.
Mhm.
Said like, oh, fucking, fucking talk. What an asshole. Uh, said like, I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna, hey, borrow your shoes. I'm gonna go to prom. So I'm like, all right. Fucking return it to me, all scuffed up and shit. And it was like, what the fuck happened here? It's like, you played in them? It's like, yeah, I played good though. I had a good game. It's like,
That's crazy.
and I could have gotten mad, but I just laughed. I'm like, oh man, it's so ridiculous. It's like I'm not gonna get mad for a pair of shoes. Plus, it's not like brand new, brand new. Like if I had never worn them, I'm probably gonna get mad. But I wore them. So
Yeah,
I
and
wore
it's
them
something
before.
if they're your shoes, if they're your own personal pair that you're out walking about,
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
you know.
I wore them. Wore them a couple of times, and then put them away. But I wasn't collecting them or anything. It was just like
Mm.
you know, it's like hey,
When we were collecting, right? Those are the days when we were collecting.
I
Crazy.
wasn't even really collecting Jordans because like I was like I couldn't get into the game. I'm like, man, this is not sustainable for me because it's
Yeah.
either I buy shoes or comic books or fucking use it for dates and shit or pussy and shit.
Well, I mean, even then, like, how often do girls look at your shoes and be like, "Oh shit, are those the blank, blank, blank?"
Yeah,
Jordan
I think
12.
girls nowadays do. Girls nowadays do. But
Yeah,
back
but
then
who
they weren't
back?
caring.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They
Girls
actually weren't
nowadays
even
do, but who's dating girls nowadays that would care about that? You're talking about dating a
that's
girl who's like 20,
crazy. That's
right?
crazy if you and your girl got on like, oh shit, you got on the breads. Like, I am not
Yeah.
dating no bitch talking about she is sneakerhead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If she's a sneakerhead, she's probably like of
Like,
that
you better
age,
wear a
and you're like,
heel. You better wear a heel or something. Or a
Oh,
flat.
you wearing the Red Octobers? Let me suck your dick.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
see?
yeah. They're probably half your age, Joffrey. Which
Shit.
I mean, okay, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, I guess.
Hey, half
But
my age is still legal.
no, I'm not saying they're not legal. I'm just saying they're half your age, so you gotta be ready for that. You gotta think about that.
Uh,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a 21-year-old sucking on your ding dong, right?
me
She's of
Inherently,
she's
no.
of legal age.
legal dog. She can vote
Like
already.
inherently,
She can
You
vote.
can vote and drink and
Hey, if you
gamble.
could decide who the president of the United States is, you could suck a dick.
she can suck a dick. Yeah.
Christian Wapthought, who's in the comments, shout out to Christian. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming through. He was saying unwritten rule though is half your age plus 7.
Yeah.
And that's-
hmm
Actually,
The
I
unwritten rule, man.
That
Grass
is
on
an
the
unwritten
field,
rule.
play ball. That's
That is not a good rule of thumb. I'm just gonna say that right now. That can totally fuck you up. Just gonna throw that out there. Probably
grass on
not.
the.
Yeah, not a good rule of thumb. Just gonna say that. Do not listen to that. Do not. Do not.
Oh my god.
grass on the field, play ball. Know what I mean?
Nowadays, like, what if there's hella grass on the field? What if the field's never been cut, Joff? Right? What, do you prefer the field not being cut, or do you like the
What is that fucking Amazon rainforest? Some shit?
yeah? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even. You know what I'm saying? They don't care no more. You feel me? Or you don't care no more. You know what I mean? Or maybe you don't care no more. You know? Because
Yeah.
guys used to be on some dumb shit back in the day. They'd be like, oh, dude. You know what I'm saying? I didn't fuck with their dog. How come you didn't fuck with their dog? How come you didn't? Oh, she got a hairy pussy. Like, what? That's why you did. That's why you did. Really? Like, oh, she don't shave, dog. It's like, really? Where now maybe, scumbags, Joff, in our age, and, they don't care. They don't care if there's a forest down there. They don't care. You know what I mean?
Hey, shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm just saying, not a guarantee that the girl is legal. If
Gotcha.
she has
Christian also
forest out
said,
there.
"Bro,
I'm
hair
just
ain't gonna
saying.
stop me." Is what Christian. I like your style, Christian. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Hair is not gonna stop him." You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude.
You know,
Yeah,
just
let
just
hair
part
stop
away.
you.
Yeah, just part it, dude.
Yeah,
Right?
hair. Let hair stop you from your mission. Kind of
Yeah,
fucking soft
yeah,
ass shit is that?
yeah. No, but you know how guys used to be back then. Oh, dude, she don't shave, dude. Don't.
Not
Like
me,
really?
dog.
That's why you'd stop dating her? You know what I'm saying?
You just
Yeah.
like you just see it. I'm like, all right, whatever. But,
Like I put up with the girls that didn't. You know, it's not like it's not like we were manscaping from way back then. So
yeah,
they
it's
were
like,
fucking
hey,
with our hairy ass balls and dick for like years. You know,
people
before we
live.
started.
People that live in glass houses can't throw stones, dog.
You feel me?
Yeah, I don't shave my underarms.
Right? And
Yeah,
you'd be
I'm
like,
not
lay
gonna sit.
with me, huh? You'd be like, lay here,
Yeah.
huh? Right?
Hmm? I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you know, dictate what a girl does and doesn't do with her body hair.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I mean? Take what you can get, dog.
Oh man. Is there anything else we're forgetting? By the way, the comment of
Nah.
the night here too. You feel me? Was Kessa said, "Don't look so angry." I think she was referring to
um,
Jason. Jason, you look so angry, Jason.
Huh? I get my looks from my dad.
There you
Angry.
go.
But nah, on you sports fans gotta, gotta take it down a notch, man. You gotta quit with all this.
What's on your mind?
You know what I'm saying? There's another one. There's another one. I know you guys read the shit on Debo.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, fans gotta quit that shit. It's like it's getting overboard to the point where it's like
Why are
they're
they sending
asking
him death
for
threats?
Yeah.
it's like they're asking for another brawl at the palace. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like like what are you gonna do when the players step up to the fans and knock you out? Then what?
Hmm.
Are you gonna keep talking shit? You're gonna like I hope you die. Like and then doing all this racist shit. I'm like, I mean, yeah, you guys are paying, but they can kick you out too. That's all I'm saying. These guys are people too, man. You just can't be doing that shit. You guys got to be smart and think. It's like their common sense goes out the window just because he's not signing a contract or anything, or there's nothing happening in the front office. You guys need to chill out. That's all I gotta say. Chill the hell out. Oh, and I have two recos. They're both on Netflix. The first one is Baking Impossible. That's it's a competition where they pair bakers with engineers, and they got
uh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's on some nerd shit. And then the other one is also a baking show competition with Mikey Day hosts it. It's called Is It Cake? So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
it's a badass show. Like they'll take a hat, right,
Yeah.
and then you got to figure out is it cake or is it real.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
I
So
mean, there's
that's
a Japanese show that's basically like that,
yeah,
right? Is it chocolate?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. That's pretty
That's
good.
not chocolate.
I'm gonna recommend. It's an older movie, but I don't know why I just started rewatching some older live action Japanese anime movies. So Bleach, live action on Netflix. I found it really enjoyable, and I'm going to recommend that. Same thing with Kenshin. That's also on Netflix. I randomly just started rewatching those this past week, so I'm just going to recommend that. Rurouni Kenshin and Bleach live action on Netflix.
Okay.
If you're
Drop
into
any
anime,
recos?
No, no, not this one. I said no. Unless you guys want to see fucking shoes get cut. That Rose Anvil video.
Yeah, recommend it. Do it.
Rose Anvil from YouTube. The channel that, because I believe he's a shoe maker, like, too. So some of them, I think some of them they get sent to them. Some he buys. So it's, I think he cut like a bunch of common projects to see if they're really using premium materials. Found out it's not. So you're just paying overpriced shoes, really, for they claim it's premium materials, but it's not. So he's doing a service for people. That if you want to buy expensive ass shit,
You're paying for the fashion.
yeah,
And the
much.
name.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say I'll give you guys two recommendations. I've been kind of on a '90s trip where I'm just trying to watch a lot of old stuff. I kind of fell into a wormhole. I first started looking at just a whole bunch of movies on some of the free streaming sites that people have and all that stuff. I ended up with two movies that I really like though. Uh, I've recommended it on here before, but I got to watch it fully in its entirety. But I believe it's called '90s, mid '90s. It's the one with Jonah Hill, or Jonah Hill produced and or directed it. I believe it's one of his first movies that he did. It's a coming of age story about somebody that's basically a kid becoming a teenager, hanging out with the skateboarding crew, and we're talking about this is during Wu Tang Mob Deep days. You know what I mean? Skater kids in California. So really, really cool. I know that Jonah Hill had said that he was really attached to this because a lot of his growing up or his life was based, I guess. The other one, I remember watching it from back in the day, but not really immersed in it. Spike Lee did a movie back in the day called Clockers.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Mackay
yeah.
Pfeiffer,
Yep. Mackay Pfeiffer.
Delroy Lindo.
Delroy Lindo. Yep. I
Was
watched
it
it
Ed
today.
Norton? Is Ed Norton in that one too?
No, he's not in.
What was I thinking
Harvey
of?
Keitel. Harvey Keitel
Harvey
is in it.
Keitel.
Yep. John Turturro, I believe, is in it too. But did I say John Turturro? I don't know. But a really good movie, man. One of the reasons why I like stuff like The Wire is because it broke down, the drug game, how things work, and all that stuff. So they show a little bit of that in the beginning of the movie. Spoiler alert at all times, but they show a little bit about that, but then it goes into a whole mystery. So I was like, okay, this is actually a pretty good movie. And looking back at movies done in the '90s, it's weird when people are arguing. First of all, the people the scene that I'm talking about, it's one of the very first scenes. People on a park bench, in the projects, arguing about who's who's a hardcore rapper, who do they like. They were one of the guys was dissing Chuck D from Public Enemy, claiming that's not hardcore rap. He ain't never shot nobody. He ain't never shot a gun. He's too positive. And it's funny, the person that was saying that was Sticky Fingers and Fredro Starr from Onyx. So they're giving love to Dr. Dre. They're giving love to Tupac. They're giving love to Wu Tang. And some guy brings up, oh, what's his name's tight too? Speech from Arrested Development. They're like, man, get that Arrested Development shit out of here, bro. So it's funny to see just a little conversation between the '90s fashion. I mean, there's a lot of baggy clothes in here. You know what I mean? When Joff talked about, oh, Mackay Pfeiffer is in there. He's iconic in this movie. You know what I mean? He's an iconic looking dude. He's very photogenic. He looks good on screen. To see somebody with some Timbs on, overalls with basketball shorts, no shirt, in the hot New York sun. You know what I mean? It's just an iconic look. He looks like how Tupac would have looked like, or he looked like how DMX probably would have looked like, back in the days. I've been watching a lot of hood movies too, so I was I came across a lot of bad movies to get to the movies that I watched today though too. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to recommend. Clockers and there's this one article that I had seen, and I don't know if you guys had seen this, but it's another Netflix recommendation. I forget the name of it, but you'll come across it where it's little kids doing tasks
Old
for their
enough.
parents. Old enough. Is it old enough? I came
Yeah.
across that. The episodes aren't that long. It's long, like 8 minutes long, or some of it's 15 minutes, 12 minutes, but it's basically like 2 year olds, three
Yeah.
year
Two,
olds
3-year-olds in Japan.
in Japan being sent out in the world to do a task. So the
Mhm.
first episode I watched, this little kid, he's only 3 years old. He walked a kilometer just to go do groceries. Like he had to go get chicken curry for his mom. Forgot the curry though. You know what I'm saying? So his ass walked all the way over there, forgot the curry. You know what I mean? But he's over here crossing. So it just made me think, like, wow, dude, kids in Japan are so advanced. At 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, they're already traveling by themselves. Where our fucking we coddle our 4 year olds, 5 year olds, who are like, oh no, don't go over there. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's up. So
I
um,
mean,
kind
yeah,
of crazy.
but I mean, America is probably more dangerous than Japan, anyways. So it makes sense,
100%.
right? So
But to have that even as a thing, I just found very interesting. I'm not going to judge
yeah.
anybody on how they, because it's a different society. Of course, it's different,
Hmm.
from what we live out there. Because at first I was just like, yo, when I was reading this article, I was like, man, people are okay with this. And what people explained was, hey, this is how it is in Japan, yada yada yada. To as if then I'm thinking about our kids here, like, wow, how non-independent a kid could be, or how dependent a kid can be. I mean, for that kid, I literally watched this 8 minute clip of this kid walk like a kilometer, which ain't. It's not short. That's not a short distance. That's a pretty fucking far distance for a 3 year old.
Yeah.
Walking. He's followed by cameras. I'm pretty sure nothing on, but you never know. A car
Mhm.
could have hit him, or
Half a
something could
mile.
have, whatever. You know what I mean? So, like along the way, like he'll find a stick and start playing because you forget, like, oh wait, this is a kid. You know what I mean? So if he happens to pick up a stick and start playing with it, it's like, oh shit, I gotta watch this kid play. So yeah, it made me think of like, wow, our kids are they could be very independent depending on the environment and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I don't know if that's a recommendation. It's just something weird that I saw and kind of enjoyed it, but went back to watching a bunch of other stuff too. So yeah, that's all I got.
Oh shit.
Anything else?
Sonic 2, dog. It's not bad.
Oh, so you watched it?
Yeah. It's
I
not
still
Everyone
bad.
haven't
loved the
watched the
first
first one.
one. Everyone loved the
Still
first
haven't
one.
watched it. I still have not watched it. The first one.
Dude, fucking Jim Carrey is an awesome cartoon villain. He's just like, fucking, this guy, like, he's awesome in there. I was like, damn. Because if you think about it, really, it's like Jim Carrey is a cartoon,
Yeah, he is.
and fucking, because I didn't, I would just ask my fucking son that wanted, like, can we watch Sonic 2? I'm like, all right. And I was watching, I was like, oh shit, this is not bad. And
Mhm.
you know, I was listening to the soundtrack. It's like, oh shit, is this Cuddy? It's like Cuddy has a track in it.
Oh, Kid Cudi. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I look, fucking my kid's jamming. I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker like Cuddy. That's cool.
Hey, there you go. Ain't nothing wrong with the Rager, huh?
Yeah, he's bobbing his head. It's like, oh shit, all right.
A lot of people really, really dug the whole Sonic franchise. Like
It wasn't
people,
bad. I was
people
surprised.
like the first one, and people even like the second one even better. They're like, "Oh, dude, if the first one was good, the second one's even way better." I'm like, "Really?" So kind of cool to see.
There's a third one. There's gonna be a third one, dude.
I'm just saying, not a lot of video game movies actually kick ass, and this is one of the maybe one of the first that's really kicking butt as a
They
video
said
game
Uncharted
franchise.
is not bad too.
Oh, Uncharted, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen it, but they said
yeah,
it wasn't
crazy.
bad. Yeah, I think there was an article. They said Uncharted and Sonic 2 finally broke the code on video game movies. So like,
I don't
I
know.
was,
Detective Pikachu is pretty good.
Yeah,
I heard that one was actually good too. A lot of people were really,
that
really
was
happy
really
with
good.
that too. A lot of Pokemon fans were like, yeah, they didn't think it would be
Yeah.
good, but they
Mhm.
they really liked it. So yeah. Anything else, guys? Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, my name is Ron Sara. Ninja Iceberg in the house. Dirty Mac, aka Jopsimus. Say it with your chest, aka Jay Jericho. We are ending the show. Thank you guys for we gave you guys an extra 35 minutes. Thank you for vibing out with us. Thank you to everyone watching, and we'll see you guys next week with more nerdy stuff. Please come watch us next week and join us again and nerd out with us and have fun. This was a good show, guys. I'm glad I got to nerd out with you guys. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys. Take care, and we'll see you
Happy
guys
Easter,
next week.
fuckers. Jesus coming back on Sunday, so
Oh, yeah.
rejoice.
Happy
Yeah.
Easter, guys. Wait, was
Today
it
was
Good
Good
Friday
Friday.
then today?
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
was Good Friday.
I was at church, so that's why I didn't respond back until late.
Hey, very good. All right. Well, I will see you guys. Take care. Bye bye. Take care, y'all.